to work. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Turn up that sound. Beauty. So, welcome back to Spelljammer. Welcome to the Cult of Hecate. Last time, some shit happened, guys. You went to go climb to the top of the tippy top of the mountain to possibly track down what Evahn Jord is up to. There was a small cave, very random, very innocent cave. And you guys are like, hey, we're adventurers. Let's go kill some evil shit. And, do hero shit. And everyone was like, fuck yeah, except Ethereth, for some reason. Perhaps we found out why. Maybe Ethereth had a little glimpse into the future, who could say. True to her class, maybe a certain diviner, Vivara, that morning was like, hey, Ethereth, well, lightning comes at you, maybe jump out of the way. Maybe Ethereth was like, how the fuck am I supposed to jump out of the way of lightning? It's lightning. What the fuck? True enough, as you entered into there, this giant Behir lizard lightning monster fired a shot of lightning at the party, and Ethereth was just toasted, disintegrated, nearly disintegrated, and that was a real shame because the monster was taken down pretty quickly thereafter. It wasn't a very high danger moment for everybody, I guess. And God feels bad about that, really. So then you guys proceeded to decide, hey, maybe we're not ready to climb the mountain just yet. So everyone went to sleep, and Arendelle was like, I'm ready to climb the mountain. So Arendelle climbed said mountain, made it all the way to the tippy top, and met with the king of the gods, Zeus, and asked for the life of his friend, which Zeus said, hell no. That's not what I'm about. One soul? Are you kidding me? I am the god of gods. I am the king of kings. And if you were to enter my service, you must be the king of kings as well. One life is nothing compared to the whole. And Arendelle seemed to vibe with this philosophy of kingship, of stewardship of the paladins, of grandeur, of divine rule, of judgment, being the key word. And Arendelle swore the oath of judgment at the foot of Zeus and swore to uphold his tenets of wrath, of wisdom, and of majesty. With that, he descended the mountain, a new paladin, and you all made your way back to town, tossing Ethereth into a familiar cauldron, filled it with salt to allow his body to disintegrate. And Arendelle basically was like, yo, it's time. We're gonna rally these people. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them all. We're gonna slap them into shape, and we're gonna figure this all out. And starting with the cult of Hecate, apparently, as your demigod companion put a message out to the cult of Hecate saying, "Hey, friendly warning: if you go near the mountain, Zeus will shoot down." As it seems that he is creating a storm to protect it from any of your adversaries from approaching other than you until the time you will that and then Arendelle was told by said demigod that sometimes the best way to dominate a people is to claim their heroes, and so that is exactly what Arendelle did. He and Callistra spent the night together. And that is where we're going to pick up the next day. Arendelle, you have my apologies. I said I'd make you your subclass. I did not. I'm very, very sorry. I am, however, going to send you some pics so that you have those. I will have it done for you next week. On a bit of a crunch with another campaign, so I apologize. I'm a little scatterbrained lately. But it's on the way. Judgment on my to-do list, and I'll send you those pics momentarily. But as the next morning rolls around, Ethereth, you are Your eyes open in a dark space. There's light coming down from the top. You're cramped inside, and my God, are you thirsty? You're also having a -4 to all ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls. Your body feels terrible. But you are here. You are alive. What do you do inside of this cramped, dark space?
I try to crawl out.
Easily done. You like, I'll say off to the side, Saeed's like, waiting. Suddenly, a dragonborn hand. He's like, ah! He likes, you guys hear this Gith Yankee screech. And Ethrith, you pull yourself out. You see Saeed standing in front of you with like his silver braid sort of above his head. And he's like, oh, um, Red, they said this would happen. It's away. He looks like shit.
I just stare at the red door, like Ether's like pretty scarred up from being struck by lightning.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And just goes stares and he's water.
Water?
Water.
Water what?
Water.
Oh, water. Oh, sorry. And Saeed will go to the nearest barrel and he'll take one of those like ladled cups and he'll hand it to you.
We'll just like stare at the fucking barrel and just cast shape water start funneling into his mouth.
So he's like, I'm gonna go get someone who can handle this better. And he'll just kind of, yeah, I think we'll go to Basan's room. Basan! Basan!
Is Bisan actually in her room, or is she still at the Temple of Athena?
That's
because she didn't. She didn't go. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say that. We'll say that you're just. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. We'll circle to that. I promise. But do you think she would have returned to sleep here in the cult?
No, she stayed up. She stayed up all night in like a meditative state, trying desperately to commune with Athena.
Right. Oh, right, we did that. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah.
That's okay. But
he's like, wake up, you undisciplined Githzerai. He said, damn it. And he's gonna go to the next door. He's gonna go, Rendell. Rendell's in Callisto's room. Rendell. Yeah. He's gonna go over to Ed's and start pounding with two hands. And you're there, in this room. You hear suddenly, you're like you got your little like Genasi stuffy. Or something, you're sleeping soundly, and suddenly the door just starts banging and rattling. And you wake up out of a dead sleep, and he's like, Captain! Captain! Captain!
You have a plan?
No! Your dragonborn has risen from the dead.
I look over towards that there.
Okay, you get out of bed, you come down the corridor, you turn around into the main room, and you do see Ethereth, like, naked, half his body sticking out of the cauldron, just, like, funneling water into his mouth, trying to, like, get the verbal components out to keep it aloft while still chugging it, and it's like a really weird kind of...
It's purely hand gestures.
Oh, then never mind, yeah. So it's like a really weird, like, emaciated Dragonborn wet t-shirt party over there. And it's kind of weird to look at, but it's as he's trying to drink all this water.
Yeah. Good to see you on your feet, Ether.
My feet, I'm not so sure about that. I like sort of haul myself out of the cauldron entirely.
I'll help him.
All right.
Yeah, I've got an experience or two being salted in my day. It doesn't get better until it stops. Then it's over.
I feel like there's still some rotting in my stomach.
Yeah, that happens. Make sure you get it out of your eyes, but not in your eyes. Have they grown yet? That'll expect after.
Uh, Etherith like has clear like just kind of like like how when like you channel electricity through like wood and like the way the like wood burn like that. It's kind of like they're just all snaking down Etherith's like face down to his chest.
Oh, I'm no expert, but I like to consider myself a friend, and there's a there's extra stuff that comes with this out there. So and I think it's a sort of case by case basis type deal. So I can't really give you first hand advice, but at least a heads up. It'll help them out.
Well, I have to say that dying was not a fun experience. Where's everybody else? Did no one else stay for my resurrection?
Well,
So he's like,
we're
I stayed. I was here. But only because I was told to.
well, you count for a whole crew and then some. So that's a compliment to you out there. But I also think, we haven't really had time to think, but our numbers are been thinning. Something to consider when we can't do such a thing. But for any case, we should probably find the others.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know where they are.
Come to think of it, we should figure out what we are right now. Ed tries to do that, just that.
Try to figure out what, sorry?
Where they are, like what their options are from coming like from here.
We'll say, with all of this ruckus going on, Arendelle, you heard like all the banging and like you kind of got up. Callistra got up. She's like, deal with him. And we'll say, if you wish, Arendelle, you can come in at this point.
Ah, Ed, good to see you up and about. Atterith, how are you feeling?
Like I died yesterday.
But you are once again risen for the second time. You've got this down pat.
I've only died once. I may have been knocked unconscious a couple of times.
But you were reborn from death in your current state. So, is there anything we can do?
You couldn't have. Where are my things? I seemed exposed right now.
Yes.
We'll see.
Get your clothes.
We'll see. Callistra gathered them all and is like maybe been looking them over. So they're Callistra's room.
Would I have noticed them as I walked out?
Yeah, you would have noticed them, like the bag very much open.
Yeah.
His stuff, like kind of some of his stuff on her desk, like very much like it's in her private room, but like pretty. Maybe you looked at her and she was like just kind of shrugged at you. So clearly has gone through Ether's stuff, but it is all in her room.
That's fine. I'll go and retrieve them. I know where they are. And I'll walk back.
I didn't realize that I am without my Hellhound sleeve, and I'm like, Arendelle, where is the Hellhound sleeve?
With the rest of your belongings, I assume.
And where are the rest of my belongings?
They are in a room just down the corridor.
Which one?
That would be your sister's room.
Ether just sprints.
So I think it goes for a sprint, but it's very much like a
It's like
horror movie running from the bad guy. Kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's pretty crazed as he's trying to reacquire the Hellhound sleeve.
Between your weakness and your manicness to reacquire it, it does look like the ridiculous run that people do in horror movies where they're like tripping kind of for no reason and shit.
Yeah.
You go running down at Thrith. You know where her room is. You like throw the door open, and you see Callistra, covered in her bed sheet, but otherwise like naked. Like her back is exposed and everything, and she's just kind of like maybe like sitting at her vanity, with her leg folded, and just like looking in a mirror, and kind of turns around and looks at you while holding the thing up.
Ether just didn't even register that that's happening. It just guns for the Hellhound sleeve.
You dive for your bag. You start like going through all your shit.
Yeah. Even before I've got like any other clothes on, Hellhound sleeve goes on first.
Got it. You do find that the Hellhound sleeve is like laid out on her dresser or something. You like go through your bag and you right to see it, and you just put it back on. She's got like I don't know, makeup thing, and she's just like, "Good morning."
I was dead for almost less than a day, and I can't even address this. I can't even address this right now. And then just going to grab her some like clothes and change.
Just whoa, wait, hang on a second. She'll like finish doing one of those, and she'll find a wand, and she'll say, "Hold still, this will make you feel better." And she's gonna cast Remove Curse on you. And suddenly, your deep, eager need to have the precious on your arm simply kind of fades. You feel a little better.
Unexposed. Never mind.
Huh. You know, I didn't even realize that was cursed. I just thought of when I was very attached to the thing.
Yes, our mother likes to have them.
Thanks, I suppose.
You suppose?
You'd be grumpy too if you died yesterday.
I would be grumpy, to be honest. I keep the staff. It's actually a very nice staff.
Where is the staff?
It's like probably laying next to where the Hellhound sleeve was. It's right there.
Well, it's the one thing that Hecate gave me when I was born, so...
Oh, I'm just joking. I wouldn't take your heavy key staff from you. I know how much you love our mother.
I suppose by this time I would have carried on. Yeah, I would have followed Defrith and walked down, and as I reached there, I can see him standing there. Says now.
Yeah, you go walking down. Does anyone follow Arundel? Ed, do you follow Arundel? So Ed and Arundel show up at Callistra's door, just like, I'm not a fucking bloody parade.
No, you're not. Ethereth, grab your clothes, get dressed. I'm sure your sister's seen enough already today.
Yes. This is... She kind of looks you up and down after it as you realize you are also naked.
Yep.
This is really weird.
This ain't a Hecate thing, is it?
Oh,
No,
one of you,
no, it doesn't.
one of you had to strip me off when I was dead anyway, so at this point, who gives a shit? Just storm out.
He's got his death sleeve, so he's good now. And we're sorry about that. You know, we're I mean, not that you should be ashamed. You look great. You know, I that's probably too much. You know, bye, the lady. You have a good night now. When he stampers off.
Well, thank you, Captain. For the compliment. Looks like you got some competition around there.
Well,
He's such a charmer.
I will see you later. I will just close the door.
She'll close the door. She's probably cackling in her room, let's be honest, because this is all very amusing. But regardless, you all make your way down. Basson, you did leave eventually. Did you want to show up around now?
Yeah, the only other thing that she had wanted to do before she left would have been to procure like if they have like a holy book with the tenets of Athena and like maybe a holy symbol or a this is how to serve Athena, like just a like do they have a pamphlet? Can she get a pamphlet?
They unfortunately don't have pamphlets, but they do have. But they could give you a very brief, like the three tenets of three Athena.
And we don't actually even have to role play this. You can just throw them up there.
Yeah.
But she would have made that inquiry before she left, but she would have then left because obviously there's work to do.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we don't need to play it through. But you talk to them and you're like, so what do I got to do here, bro? And one of them would have been like, bro, this is all you got to do. And they will say, wisdom and strategic counsel is the first tenet. Whether it is legal disputes, political governance, strategic warfare, personal decision making, anything. Do it with clear, rational, prudent judgment and leadership. So they're not about emotion, but about wisdom and knowledge and prudence. The second is war should only be done for just cause and the defense of civilization. So those are two important things. Defend civilization, commit to war only if it is just. Protect your city, your home. Warfare is a tool of last resorts. Use it to serve peace. And the last is craft, industry, and civic harmony. Unbeknownst to many, she is also considered a crafts god. Weaving, craftsmanship, practical skills. She favors artisans, builders, and especially thinkers. So she values productivity and innovation, arts, architecture, and especially mastering one's own craft is a great form of worship to the gods. So, wise counsel, just for and defense of civilization, and the mastery of craft and civic harmony. Those are largely how you can worship Athena. I will put those in the chat.
She will obviously respectful, and as she's hustling back, probably in her mind thinking, okay, now that's a good fit. That I can do that. I have to pledge an eternity of service to I could do. That makes sense.
Excellent. So at this point, you come back. Everybody's maybe regathering. You're delighted, perhaps, to see the resurrection of your good friend Ethrith. And the rest of your party.
Glad you were back.
Thank you. A thought occurs. So we go back to Callista's door, just knock on the door.
It's like, oh, bloody hell. And she opens the door. She goes, and you're still not dressed either.
I have like partial If you're still in the market for removing curses, there's some armor in my pack.
Sure, why not?
I just kind of like extract the half plate armor of vulnerability and just kind of leave it for it.
Okay. She'll wave her wand. And she will remove curse.
Sick. Now it's just half plate of bludgeoning resistance, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Sick. I'll kind of stroll over to the side, just offer her the armor.
Sorry, who are you offering the armor to?
Hassan.
Oh, gotcha.
Certainly, I'm actually checking attunement slots. She will be very grateful, but she cannot. If it's an attunement item, and she isn't half plate, but if it's an attunement item, she can't unattune it to anything.
Well, in that case,
But thank you very, very much.
sort of leave it on the floor, like whoever wishes may grab it. I need to finish getting dressed.
Well, I don't need it, but thank you.
Can the
I
captain wear
suppose
it?
if nobody, I was going to say, unless Ed can, but then I can also get these scales, and they would be said better as being made into armor than being sold.
I like that prospect. And you need a custom touch to it. Let me know. My tools should be here. That's a question for the Dungeon Daddy. With our, because usually, like, so much has happened, right, since we were last on the ship, which is crazy. We used to be like, man, we're on ship battles nonstop, blah, blah, but now we're like, we've been off ship for
Yeah.
the whole year. Ed's able to like use blacksmithing tools and like make us some stuff, but I kind of like when were Ed's blacksmithing tools the thing we built for the actual ship itself, or were they his actual tools? And would that be like everything he's carrying on him? Because he's got his tinker's tools, he's got all his artificer stuff, but I'm not entirely sure how blacksmithing stuff would work. But
I think like blacksmithing tools uniquely. I think like there's certain things that you can do when you're not near an actual forge, because you can't carry around a forge and a smelter and everything with you. So, do you have blacksmith tools in your inventory?
I have smith's tools. I've got
So then, yeah, you're good.
tools, thieves tools, tinker tools, and wood carver's tools.
Are those your proficiencies, or are those in your equipment?
Those are in my backpack and my proficiency.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got a set of smithing tools. You would need a forge to properly utilize them to their full extent, but you do have them.
Yeah, and then there's obviously like a lot of smith shit takes time, so I don't know if we have time to spare, but
We have
it's
minimal
been a while
time.
since we built stuff.
We have time. Well, a small amount of time. So just above the table, because Ed, how much does Ed know of what happened on the mountain? Is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, Ed, you're a fan. So I guess not much.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I guess not. Yeah.
Gonna be
Yeah, 'cause
out too, but
no, that's fine. I wasn't sure. That's why I'm asking. Because there is a conversation needed to be had. So, okay. Well, Captain, while you were under the weather, obviously we tried the mountain. Etherith died.
yeah,
During that period of time, I met with Zeus at the top of the mountain.
You what?
that's all Ed does. Ed just points out like,
Yes.
they're good.
The storm is of his doing. He is partially protecting your brother, who is in a floating observatory up there. There is many factions that are after him, and he will keep him safe for a period of time. I originally went up there to ask him for Ephraim's life, to give him it back, due to the fact that when I was stood in front of the beast that shot him with the lightning, I was saved. The lightning went straight round me, hit Ephraim, so it should have hit me first. During that bargaining, I was made a paladin of Zeus.
That's both ACM and oh shit. He gives you a respectful nod.
There is a caveat to that, though. My oath is of judgment. And the first piece of judgment will be with your brother. All that Zeus wants, which I will have to make sure happens, is that he fulfills his contract. Does what is asked of him, what he was paid for. Then he will go. Free with you. Us. But that is something that I cannot waver on. You must fulfill that contract.
What you're saying is, my brother's not in good favors with Zeus, but more so owes Zeus work.
Basically. So his contract that he had must be fulfilled. So
anyone paying attention to Ed would see like the pettiest sigh of relief. Just for a moment there, Ed was like, even the fucking gods like him more. But now he realizes, oh, he's a headache to the gods. So, it means he really is a pro. What you're gonna notice is that Ed's not wavering. Like Ed gets what you're putting down, and Ed's probably like, I've been fighting this battle my whole life, dude. Like, I've been waiting for someone to be like, yeah, your brother is kind of an ass. So like, Ed's not really waving on that. However, he is. I'll just keep real quick. Zeus. That far. Wow. It's just, probably selfish, but had I known we were gonna be, well, one of us was gonna talk with Zeus, we could have had some real plans for the profit. I hate to have to waste it all on my brother. Damn.
Trust me when I say he is in no good favor with Zeus. In fact, if we do not ascend the mountain soon, the storm will fall and he will let anybody in. At this moment in time, the storm is there to keep people out, as we noticed when we came down. So we have minimal time to go up there, but we need to be ready. And I feel like we need to address some things, as in one-hit wonders. But he will keep them at bay for a time. Then we will have to go.
See you at the roof now that we've got everything out there. Is your lady gonna be okay if we're working with the big guy?
I am. The kind of like looks side to side. I'm not sure what to think. I'm almost wondering why you went to the effort of bringing me back. I can't think Zeus would be thrilled to have a child of Hecate brought back from the dead.
Well, he wasn't, to be fair. He did refuse my request to bring you back, hence the reason why you were put in the cauldron. But it was something that I thought I had to do, was to go and at least bargain for your life in some way. You said you didn't want to go in the cave. We went in.
I did tell you all.
I know. But that's by the by now. You're alive. You're here. Listen, regardless of Zeus and Hecate's, let's say, difficulties.
At that moment, Callista will walk in and she'll say, "Nonsense." She's dressed now as a keynote. And she will say, "I'll have you know that Zeus holds Hecate in the highest regards. The theology states that when Zeus came to power of Olympus, he empowered Hecate and allowed her to do what she will outside of the will of Olympus. He respects her greatly."
I didn't say there wasn't any disrespect, but thank you. But all gods and goddesses aside, there is something that we must do first. To save more lives, we need to get around the factions that are trying to get your brother. Stop them from going up. They're gonna die if they don't.
We just have to find my brother. That's what we have to do. I think once we have him, we'll have almost every option at our favor. And it sounds like no matter what choice we make here, we are going to anger someone, which is, well, you know, it's the nature of us. Usually we anger a lot. And, well, no, we've been on a good track record. You know, I mean, we've left places better. So I still think we're in the clear here, Graham. And I think, no, sorry if you guys heard that. I've been thinking a lot about how to pull Evahn out, and I think I have to make it clear in a way that only he and I can understand that I'm very much here, because me being close to him is against the plan, and that'll make him shaky. You know, it's in our nature, or more in their nature than mine. But I think I've been thinking about that, and I'm just not sure how I can communicate with him. But my brother knew I was here. He'd find me before I find him, just to tell me I'm messing up. Man.
Can we pass a message magically? Does someone know him who could send a message like that?
I do not think he will be able to leave the mountain. At this moment in time, Zeus has him encased within, well, he is in his observatory floating around. The storm is floating around that observatory. If we do not hurry up, either Zeus or whoever gets past the storm once Zeus drops it will fire something upon him, and he will. be captured either way, or die at the hands of Zeus's bolt.
We gotta make it to that observatory.
We do. But there is most probably things that we need to do. Sorry, go on.
Etherith, Captain, when you came out of the cauldron, you needed some time to get your groove back. Do we have time to give Etherith time to she kind of like makes bulking up gestures.
Good use of groove, by the way. So I like how your comments coming down. But you are right.
Sir.
We know the timer. It's the storm, and time to take it. You know, as one of his paladins, feel like you'll be able to keep track. We know where we have to go. Let's get whatever time we have, and let's all just regroup our bearings. You know, upgrade our gear like we need to. Come back to life, which I promise you, that no matter how much you might want to go back, which don't take offense in feeling like you want to go back. I sure did. That was quite a relief, to be honest. But in any case, when you're back, you're here. So don't question that. Might sound silly, but I say that now. Yeah, don't question the fact that they're alive. And prepare to find my brother.
Okay. We're storming the mountain.
Well, I think we've got a few things we can do, because so apart from that becoming, I'll explain the fact that, you know, to appease Zeus, the factions either have to come together, or and the judgment side of things must be made on the fact that we need to bring as many of the factions together so that we can make it easier for us and for them not to die under the judgment of Zeus.
Sounds like the best way to do that is to get Evahn. That'll fix a lot of their problems. And I imagine, I'll say this to that. I wonder if Zeus himself lays most claim to my brother. I imagine every other faction is going to rightfully bend the knee in place. I don't imagine any of the factions we met earlier are willing to take the fight to Zeus himself.
The scholars might, but that's about where that ends. The pirates are pirates, and the Azure Guard are the law. They're not going to back down just because we say that Zeus says so. There's a distinction.
I imagine Zeus would say it first. Huh?
Do I understand correctly that if we give the city the thing that Evahn was supposed to make, then all of this goes away? We just have to fulfill the contract.
Specifically, just to put this in here, the major thing that peeved Zeus about the whole, like, two things. The first of which is that he's pissed that the current, lordship, kingship, so House Shambrath, clearly isn't maintaining control very well, because there's all this like gang war and shit going on, and that pisses him off. But at the end of the day, what he wants out of Evahn is, he claims him to be like scum. He's an oath breaker, and he has defied the laws of hospitality. I insist that either he makes good on that or he faces my wrath. So that is what he insists. He's like, this guy made this technology for House Shambrath under oath. He's got to make good on that, or I'm going to fuck his shit up, basically. So he wants him to honor his oaths and make good on the, he doesn't like him. He's done a lot of oath breaking and defying hospitality. So he wants him to make good on his oaths or be destroyed. You guys could destroy him.
If you're going to Arendelle, if you're expecting to be able to unify these different factions, you're wasting your time. The pirates are fully opposed to anyone else. The cult of Hecate has we have divine prophecy to follow. We're not going to back down from that. I even looked at Callistra there, like, back me up here.
There'll be quite a smile on his face at this moment in time.
She puts her hands up. She says, the prophecy is either for the death of Evahn or the life of Evahn. So, however this plays out, one way or another, a prophecy is going to come true.
Exactly. But to that end, it means that we, as the cult of Hecate, are split, and so our ability to work with the other factions is determined by what they want. Or, in the case of those of us who walk the path of death, we're just in it for the kill.
But tactically, we can do one thing at a time. The first thing is to recover the whatever it is, the shield, that whatever thing is, and to return that.
I mean, that would be on Evahn himself, I would imagine.
Once that's done, then you can reevaluate whether or not Zeus requires anything else of city leadership.
Here.
It is.
We can get Evahn, contain him, tame him, get the schematics. I can build what he's written down. And then honestly, if callous as it sounds, I've made it clear with my brother we're gonna handle it. There's no real ifs about it right here. So
there's no reason to offer more than is being asked. We're only being asked to have your brother honor his contracts. That doesn't mean that you yourself, Captain, must suddenly step in and build the damn thing.
No. That problem isn't yours. That is his. You will need to make that right. And that is the only part of the thing that we can make happen. Take him to the Azure. To the house. Get him to honor his oath. And that is us done. Then we will need to look at the city as a whole. Well, I will. But whether people fall into line or not, judgment will be passed upon them. And it is how they react as to what the judgment will be.
Yeah, but now I'd love for a world to exist where my brother will accept his arrogant mistakes and build everything he's been told. But I don't think it's going to come easy. I think it's gonna be easier to detain him. Well, offer him up to whoever we see as right. Now why I suggested maybe being the one to build stuff in its place is, well, we as the prophet's demise, we could use all the allies we can get. And if me building that thing gets us somewhere, gets us some help that'll really take this fight to the prophet head on.
I believe it would, Captain. I'm sorry.
You being that sure makes me more confident, so please don't apologize. But you guys can see where I'm getting here, right? Top of getting my brother, figuring this all out, we still need to stick to the mission. And the mission is make our chances of taking down the prophet as easy as possible. I see opportunity for some good alliances here.
I
You know,
understand the vision. Okay.
Well,
So, if I'm to understand the captain's orders, our task is to capture Evahn Jord and hand him over to the. Just on like understanding, Yajugar is like working for House Shambreath, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are the Vanguard.
And
Yeah,
hand him
they
over
run.
to hand him over to the Azure Guard, whether he wants to or not.
we can also claim our contract on that as well.
I think it is good to honor our agreements, especially since Evahn has not honored his.
So we get him, we hand him over to the Azure, honor our contract. We then make sure he honors his contract. Either way, whether it be with your help or not, Ed. But we shall certainly put that across.
Well, we'd best not waste time. I might be worse for wear at the moment, but I can still cast a spell.
I think we have a day for you to be able to rest. The referees. Our time is not as short as that. We have a day at least. So you could take the day and recuperate as you need. There is stuff I would like to do while we're here.
A whole day, you say? Well, in that case, I know where I'm going.
As a reminder to you, Ethelred, I'm pretty sure it says this in the stipulations of the spell. If you were to do nothing but rest all day, it would decrease your negative modifier by 2 instead of 1. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Just as a note.
Then, if we have a day, that's what Eth's going to do.
Fair enough. You're like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Like, hard cut to
Barbie.
Ethelred in bed going, oh.
It's going to be Ethelred dimension
Sparta,
dooring
yes.
straight up to the main city and going straight to the bathhouse.
Hell yeah. No issues there. You make your way in there. Let's see. I'm gonna what's the price things at to do with this, but I think I have a nice little reference here. Where are you? Here you are. I'll get you a price in a second. But in the meantime, as you guys are just taking the day to chillax, Zeus has got your back, watching the mountain. What would you like to do?
So I'll talk to Ed and just show him. I have like the scales that I got, which are resistant. If I could find them, and I'll say to her, are they? I did have them there. Scales and horns. There we go. So, I'll put it in the chat for you, AC, and then you can see what it is that I got from there. So, I have these scales, Ed. They are most probably something that we could use to make an armor if you have the time. If not, we can take it somewhere else.
Well, I think building is exactly something I'd like to do, and I really focused my mind on. I see.
So, above the table, and this question for Ryan, I was having a look at some bits, and this will also depending on what Etherith can wear. So if this was just like a plain scale mail armor of 25 pounds, just like a breastplate on leather, would that work for Etherith as well?
Let's
No.
see. You want to turn the Bahir scales into armor. They're not being made into leather. It's not going to happen, unfortunately.
No, as in put on, as in like the chest piece would just be the plate of scale, and then leather.
Yeah, you
like
can make
a
like a
waist-
breastplate.
But that's not going to work for him, is it? So,
Yeah, unfortunately, like this isn't going to be made into light armor. It's just not.
okay.
Because that's all leather based, unfortunately. So you're
To
gonna
be
have to
fair,
make. Yeah,
what killed me that wasn't even like it was a saving throw on my AC.
that's true. It was either, but that's the thing. Ed, you're the magical artificery fella. Why don't you make me a intelligence? Why don't you make me an investigation check at advantage because of your smithing tools and see what you can make out of these scales?
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I could, start poking around. They said investigation at advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just reading it because it says that it's lighter and smoother than dragon scales, so that's why I was asking that question.
Yeah, fair enough.
6 plus a 7 for a 13.
A 13. So they are lighter and smoother than normal dragon scales, which means that you could probably produce. I will say for medium armor, if you made medium armor out of these scales, you could negate the stealth disadvantage on scale and plate mail. This would probably have to be produced into scale armor, but the bonus is that no disadvantage on stealth checks, and you could probably make it into lightning resistance armor. So it would be lightning resistant scale mail that doesn't worry about disadvantages on stealth check. So pretty decent set of medium armor.
Yeah, it'd be agile for you and definitely lightning. How's that sound?
Well, I'm okay with the bronze armor that I have, but maybe someone else on the team or the party may be able to use it, whether yourself or even Basson. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll get working on this then.
To be fair, I think it would be more beneficial to make it into armor than to sell it, because I don't think it's going to garner too much back.
Oh, yeah, and I can, I'm looking at it. This kind of look good on me. Yeah, been a while. I've been, yeah, I can patch up the old jumpsuit with this. Why not? And Ed's gonna make it for himself.
Okay, how about it? So you can take that. I'll take that off mine, and then you can put it on yours.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, the only other thing I would like to do is to go to the Temple of Zeus and ask them who their best smith is.
They would direct you probably to the Temple of Hephaestus, the smith god, and from there, maybe one of their own priests, or perhaps a craftsman that they know would be the best way to find the best. But obviously, a person of repute in the city would have their own reputation. I'll say they just direct you to a craftsman in the city who is like the best. Well, they ask, is this a weaponsmith or is this armor you're looking for?
No, this is a weaponsmith.
They will direct you to a specific weaponsmith in the city. And I'm going to get that information for you. Um, you- Okay, you are directed to who is known as Kalos Emberthane, who is supposed to be the master of the Star-Forged Anvil, which is the name of his establishment. He is a dwarf, unsurprisingly. He is a retired ironsmith, or excuse me, artificer, and he is considered to be a weaponsmith of legendary renown. Some say that he was. Some say that he's a demigod of Hephaestus. Some say that he's just blessed by Hephaestus. Lots of stuff surrounding him, but he's this aged dwarf in the artisan quarters. He has he's a thick, broad-shouldered guy. Clearly, he has been banging away with his hammers all his life. Built, strong upper body. He has a number of braided iron threads throughout his beard that glow with runes, and every time he smashes his hammer on the anvil, those runes sort of glow like the embers of a flame with every beat of the hammer. You see his apron is lined with years and years and years of work, and his walls are lined with plates of legendary pieces of weaponry. He will look at you and he will say, haven't seen you here before. You're looking for something to be craft?
You are Kalos, I presume?
I am Kalos Emberthane.
Good day, sir. I have been sent your way from the Temple of Zeus. I am looking to have a weapon made from this. And I'll put the celestial line on the table in front of it.
He looks at it, turns it around, sort of. He just kind of like looks at it almost like whatever. And then he says, very fine iron you have here. Celestial quality, star forged. This could be turned into something truly special. Cost you.
Like... That is fine. We shall discuss that. I would like a longsword and a mace made.
I don't know if there's enough here for both. I could probably make 2 weapons if they were lighter, smaller, like short swords at most. But if you want a long sword, that will require all of it.
Okay. I'll just take the longsword then.
Well, a long sword, alright. I'll get to work. It's going to require a large payment.
And how much do you require?
This is very fine material. I suspect you don't want but I'll tell you what. I could craft this into a legendary item. Well, that is of an exceptional expense, and we don't need to discuss that. Let me forge you something very rare. It will be less expensive, and one day when you have the coin, you may return to me, and I might make it into what its full potential could potentially be.
You have
So
a
for the
deal.
time, excellent. So for the time being, let me tell you the cost of such an item.
I'll also put the horn on the table and ask him if he can make the hilt out of that. Because that obviously gives a benefit of any dragons around. Whether that ever comes into play or not, it would just be nice to have that there.
Yeah, he says, I can put that into the pommel for you. Good counterweight. All right. This is going to be expensive. Even as a very rare item, This will be 40,000 gold pieces. Now, with that said, I am willing to accept service in exchange for coin, some of the coin. So why don't you tell me how much you could pay, and maybe we can work something out between us.
I have 2,000 on me at this precise time that I am able to
Smarts.
give you.
He goes, huh. All right. Make you a deal. Give me the 2,000. I'll work on this. You can bring me the other 16,000.
Okay.
So when you return for this to be done, I'm going to need 16,000 from you, and I will prepare a service that I require doing in exchange for the weapon given. This is the best offer I can make. If you possess this, it means you have done good works for Zeus, which I'm honor bound to complete the weapon. But I do need to be paid for my services.
And you shall be paid.
Very well. So you hand over the gold, which is 2,000, you said?
Yeah, that's all I've got on me.
No problem. So mark down somewhere you owe this dwarf 18,000 gold.
Yeah.
And also that he would have a service prepared for you to perform in exchange for the other half of the gold that you owe.
Okay.
I said this will take a great deal of time to complete. So go do whatever it is you want to go do with your life. Come back to me in, let's say, just come back to me in 2 months.
Okay.
Or later. I'll hold the item. If a year passes, I will sell it.
I shall
year.
be back before then.
Very good. He'll shake your hand, and he will take it, and he will kind of put it in the back, and he will finish up what he's working on right now, but he will begin to produce for you a long sword of great worth soon enough.
Okay.
Okay. Beautiful. To transport over to you there, Athrith, would you like to hear your prices for your wonderful bath?
Yes.
All right, so this is a very nice bath. This is I'm going to say that this is considered like a wealthy lifestyle bath. Like this is for the wealthy. This isn't like for the aristocratic, the nobility. This is for like really high-end people. It's for the public, the high-end people. So for a bath, in the common bath, it's 5 gold pieces, which will be in a beautiful marble bath, perfumed oils, scalps and foot massages, light refreshments, but there are also add-on services. There is, tell me if any of these strike your fancy. There is massages by trained hands, magical cleansing, glamour enchantments, very temporary. There is private baths with live music and fine arm, and then there is also, of course, courtesan companionship. I think pricing.
What's the companionship?
The companionship ranges, so their standard services range from anywhere from 10 to 25 gold pieces. They assure you that any of these guild-trained courtesans in the temples of Aphrodite are trained in conversation, art, music, etiquette. They can attend to both nobles and intimate companions, the entertainers. They're high quality, groomed, discreet, charming. If you want to go up the price bracket to 50 to 100 gold, these are elite courtesans hired only by nobles, merchant princes, royalty. They are sensual, witty, gifted in dance, poetry, intrigue. These are considered the best of the best. And then if you want to go a little extra, and this is for only the most discerning of customers, 100 to 500 plus gold pieces for the most exotic of courtesans to be found in all of Great Space. This could include anything from tieflings to the most exotic and beautiful of elves, maybe even those with celestial blood, perhaps a demigod. They are enchanted with illusory powers, glamours, maybe even shape-shifting. They come with mythical auras. They may be part of exclusive clubs, secret societies, have connections to divine, to the fiends. It often includes a multi-sensory experience rather than just touch. So, those are your courtesan options, my friend.
Etherith is sort of both broke and not broke in that I have very little gold, but I have the jewelry that
That's true.
the chaplain gave me, which means I can either vastly, like I can either spend within my means or vastly overpay.
Entirely your choice. Guild train, noble salon, or magical exotic.
I mean, I've got like 15, 20 gold to spare, so I guess like just kind of a standard situation.
Got it. You go for the guild trained. They're sort of like on hand here. And there's a number of beautiful, skilled in the talents of Apollo and the talents of Aphrodite. Many men and women who are beautiful, well groomed, mostly human, maybe a half elf here and there, dwarves, halflings, sort of your basic races are available, all of which are finely groomed and beautiful, talented.
I thought they're probably more drawn to the dwarves than most of the others.
Dwarves, interesting. The salon person would say a man or a woman.
Man.
They say, very well. With this service comes at least you'll have a private bath, if nothing else. You are brought to a nice private bath where there are a number of companions. They make sure that they are young, pretty men who will provide you with like scalp massage, foot massage, feed you grapes off the vine, a little bit of like flavored water. And eventually this like burly but handsome dwarven man comes in. He's got like a very well groomed, short brown beard. His hair is like sort of done, it's sort of like slicked back about shoulder length with argan oil, like oiled nicely. He does have like a little bit of chest hair going on, broad. I'd say manly, but well groomed and very nice to look at. He will come in and spend time with you, talk about what you wish to talk about, serenade you, speak on, impressively speak on like important matters. Like they don't have empty brains. There's things they know about, and there are many things that he knows about, and we'll fade to black with that sentiment. Go ahead and take inspiration.
Yay.
As you've been properly pampered to a great extent. And this will certainly count as 2 days of, or 2 points of rest for your race dance. You'll only be at a -2 when the day comes to an end. What about Captain Ed Jord?
So Ed Jord's probably messing around with the scales and building. He's like you'll probably well, should we start with trying to like see if he can turn it into something that he can wear? And that might be
the here skills?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, they can be turned into a suit of scale mail. Yeah, I gave you the specification, so I'm gonna give you the information on how to build it now. Let's see here.
And one thing I should have been better at when I decided to take the spell, but like Ed at level 6, his replicate magic item got like a little bit of a boost. I chose Pipes of Haunting because I'm picturing like little grenades, like these
Oh,
big
cool.
little grenades, and like I think something like that. I know, because yeah, we haven't really used my infusions as much as, and that's probably on me. But like I know Basan has. Basan's been hooked up. She's
I
been,
rely on that.
you know, and to Carmen's credit, she's always messaging me about it. You guys can message me about it, yeah. But anyways, I it's just gonna be in workshop mode, and next time during break or between sessions, I'll give Dave and John. I'll give you guys a rundown of my stuff because you need to get better about that. So basically, what Ed's doing, artificery. That's what he's doing wherever
Got
he
it.
can.
Okay, fantastic. So, let's see. You have the scales, so that's going to cost. That's going to cut your creation costs in half. So this is going to cost you 1,025 gold pieces to create. If you spend 1,025 gold pieces, you can work for 50 days. This could be done over time, doesn't have to be consecutive. But if you spend that 1,025 gold pieces, you'll have all the materials you need. And then you can spend 50 days forging this suit of scale mail. As a side note, because the resistance comes from the scale itself, I'm also going to eliminate the attunement necessity of the armor resistance. So it's going to be scale mail, no disadvantage on stealth, no attunement, and lightning resistance. So it's going to be a pretty dope suit of armor at the end of the day.
Yeah, that almost feels like it feels like something that Ed, if Ed can do all this in his head, figure that out, then I'll probably start that once we're like done with this common mission here. And,
Tell you what then, why don't we say you spend the day, because you rolled a 12, and that was for like basic brainstorming. Why don't you roll me this will be intelligence. I'll let you choose either investigation or nature, because you're using beast parts, and you at an advantage because you're a smith to make schematics today.
Okay. I am gonna use my flash of genius on this and investigation. Oh shit, here we go. 17 plus 7 for a 24, and a plus 4 to make it a 31 just because this is an epic armor, you know. I'll even have to update this mini, add a little bit of a give a little bit of a I don't know, maybe
Some scales.
Some scales on there.
Artificers, they've got great qualities on that. I love that.
Oh yeah.
That's a 31
point. It's a good point because I believe at this level, Ed, you should have a feature regarding magical item creation that makes you a little bit better at it than most people, if I'm not mistaken. That might be at a later level, actually. Oh, you also have tool expertise. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
that's
tool
pretty
expertise.
important.
I mean, I have the feat medium armor master, but that's gonna help for like when I wear it.
That's gonna help for when you wear it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, tool expertise. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check that makes you use your proficiencies with a tool. So yeah, so that means I would get 6, an added 3 more to that roll. Yeah, probably clear that. And then the right tool for the job, that's more for like, well, that might help here. That just means I can create those magic tools.
Oh, I'm thinking of you're gonna get a feature at 10th level called Magic Item Adept.
Cool.
That allows you to craft magic items of a rarity of common or uncommon in a quarter of the normal time and half the cost. So that's very useful, but it will not apply, unfortunately, for this
Yeah. That would
regardless.
be
And that's not
useful
on
at
time. So.
a couple levels.
Yeah. Okay, so you complete these blueprints. Beautiful suit of armor. It's a Captain Ed Jord special. It's going to be great. You're ready with it, and you just need to build it.
I'll probably pocket that away. And again, any infusions, today I'm gonna keep marking them because I'm creating one little fucking like little grenade, even though they're called pipes of monk.
No problem. Hassan, is there anything that you would like to do today?
Actually, yes. In her time at the Temple of Athena, would she have been able to identify whether or not Athena had a sacred animal?
I'm sure you would have. Let's see here. Yes, of course. You probably very blatantly, iconography blatantly placed around. You would have seen the owl very presently.
All right, so very early on in the day, and remember when she goes out, she does veil so that she doesn't frighten people. Uh,
Mhm.
but she will go to some place where they sell fine paper,
Easily
and
found.
she will purchase 100 sheets.
Absolutely. You purchase 100 sheets of paper.
Um,
Uh, okay. You might have the price already. If you do, fantastic. I'll go look regardless. Adventuring gear, paper. Paper is 2 silver apiece. So this will cost you, I think, 20 gold.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, if I got my math right.
um,
Yeah, 20 gold.
and then she
You could
will.
purchase parchment if you want cheaper. Sorry, go ahead.
Is parchment? So if she's going to be folding the way she folds, uh, will parchment hold up better? Will parchment fold as well or better than the paper? If she was to say, make 100 paper owls and leave them around the city
For the
as a
sake
way to
of
beautify the city.
Yeah, as I would say that for the sake of origami, like parchment is like animal skin. It's strong and it's durable, a little more difficult to write on, but it's like floppy.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't hold a crease like regular paper does.
So then we will stick with the paper.
Okay, so that'd be 20 gold.
Uh,
You're gonna spend the day making origamis.
yeah. This is there is that place where the Lumina whatever where the scholars hang
Illumina
out,
Agora.
and I assume that is where the scholars of Athena are doing their stuff, and there's probably people that are quietly working. It would be a place where she could do a small magic and no one would notice.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So she's going to go there, and she's going to take 10 minutes to sort of contemplate the tenets of Athena and sort of accept them, uh, because that makes sense. And then she's going to cast Find Familiar.
All right. So let me ask you this, because you're taking wizard levels. We're flavoring that psionically. How does that? Tell me about that.
So
You also need the incense, but you already purchased that. So
I purchased that back
Yeah.
in Brawl. Actually, she's had it for
Cool.
forever.
So yeah, how are we flavoring a familiar summon? 'Cause it's Not the most psionic activity.
It isn't the most psionic activity. So what she's realizing is like the, and looking into the mirror and realizing that whatever is inside of her is not going to manifest now in the ability to pull together massive amounts of chaos, because that's not the path she's chosen. But that ability, that raw power, that whatever the hell it is, does still exist. And she needs help shaping it. She doesn't know what kind of help she needs shaping it. So right now, she is completely winging it. But she's seen this spell done before, and she's read the spell. So she's gonna light the incense and meditate sort of on Athena and owls, and
So
hope the fuck it
let
comes
me,
together.
yeah. So let me put a let me if you're willing, I think you might like it. Let me put a flavor down for you.
Yes, please.
So the nature of the spell is a sacrifice. At the end of the day, it's you're sacrificing incense. It is a not necessarily easy to create thing. It requires skilled hands to do so. And burning it is a tribute to the god. So you're in the Temple of Athena. You've been praying for, frankly, guidance. It sounds like some wisdom. You're paying homage to this god. You're looking for guidance. There's many braziers that burn in the Temple of Athena, and you meditated there yesterday. So perhaps you meditate here again today. I know you said the Lumina Agora,
No,
but
that's fine. It was one or the
okay,
other. Perfect.
cool. So you'd spend a bit of time here, but because I believe it takes like 10 minutes to
Yeah.
summon. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So you light all this incense here because you've kind of seen that incense is relevant, and frankly, you've seen this spell performed, and you're hoping, you're having faith. You're asking for, frankly, a miracle, and you're pouring some of your psionic potential into it, a spell slot, and you sit there and you pray. Now, what happens? We're playing with the authenticity of the lore of classes here, but fuck it. In this moment of hope and prayer and faith and wishing of guidance of Athena, we'll say that in this moment you access divine magic, no wittingly or not. And what is produced isn't through psionic power; it is through offering, through sacrifice, and through faith to Athena. That from the fire burns and casts away a snow white owl that sits in the middle of the now unlit brazier, unharmed, and staring at you. And you feel a mental connection. You know this to be a familiar sent to you by Athena.
I think she's going to take a moment to be profoundly grateful and awed. And to sort of contemplate the responsibility of the tenets that she feels like she's accepted. And then to realize that she spent all of her life studying war and has absolutely no craft whatsoever to offer, but potentially could beautify the city for a little bit. And so as she leaves, and she's got her stack of papers, she's just going to start psionically folding origami owls. And she's going to kind of walk around the city, with her owl on her shoulder, folding owls and just leaving them in places maybe where children could find them, or where there would be left to bring joy.
You read my mind a bit, because I had imagined you walking down the street, you're all veiled, You got this owl on your shoulder, perched on your shoulder. You're like folding them psionically around you and leaving them here and there. I just imagine this one kid looking at you with their like ice cream, and like the ice cream falls off onto the floor. They don't seem to notice, and they're just kind of awestruck by this like owl bearer, mystical person walking down the road.
Do I see it?
Yeah.
Can I psionically catch their ice cream and put it back on top of the cone for them?
It and she goes,
Tousle their head with with the psionics and keep walking.
and you walk on down the street, leaving your little owls where you may.
And that is what she does today.
Fantastic. And that's what you do today. Incredible. Somewhere in stark contrast, Sides in a nightclub. Just fucking losing it. Because he's bored. Incredible. All right. And it sounds like you guys have you guys have like a nice day on the town. It's great. The bathhouse, the folding origamis, having like a little connection with a new goddess. Crafting a new cool things, some cool materials. Is there anything else that you wanted to do today, Rendell, other than get this commission put in play?
Yes, there's a little bit I can go and sell. Only a little bit, rightly enough. Let me just find them. It is. So I have elven chainmail that I'll get rid of.
Okay. I'll let you know you could sell this like off the street if you want, but you'd get a much better price if you dedicated like a week to seeking out the best possible price.
Okay.
Because this is like having like an archaeological find and selling it at a pawn shop, right? So you could sell it at the pawn shop, or you could take some time to like visit museums and curators and find out which one will give you the best price.
No, I'll do that over the time that we've got.
Got it. So maybe you hold on to that for a minute.
And there was just a few bits of weapon, no, only one, which was a scimitar that I don't use, so I can get rid of that as well.
Okay, you could take the half, sell that for half price. I believe they're 25 gold, so that would be 12 gold, 5 silver. You get back.
Yeah. Also, there was a question that I did want to ask. Obviously, Chaplain had Lunabow's mace, I believe.
Right. I'll say you bump into Chaplain today, if you want. And Chaplin's like, he's joined like, he's basically like taken on a new god. And he's like, oh, hey, how's it going, Arendelle?
Very well. You are missed, but I assume that you are no longer wishing to stay.
Oh yeah, not at all. I mean, I mean, traveling around the stars is real fun and everything, but I've undertaken a new god. She's called Themis, and she's the goddess of order and law and justice. And that really speaks to me. I realize I was kind of a goof, wandering around, making problems for people and bugging people with the animals and stuff. So I got rid of all that, and now I'm serving as a clerk at the law office.
Well, I wish you all the best.
So yeah, and listen, you guys are all still journeying, and your brother he was a spacefarer, and I'm kind of leaving that life behind. So why don't you take your brother's mace back? I feel like it wouldn't be right for me to hold on to it anymore.
That was very generous of you. Thank you very much.
No problem. And remember, if you have any legal troubles, just find me. As I'm currently I'm gonna take the bar in a couple months, and I'm also I've got hang on. I'm gonna have a pension and everything. It's great. I'm gonna I got a 401k all set up. It's gonna be Things are looking good. And a really stable life, very ritual based.
And what do you plan on doing with your bar that you have back on the Rock of Brawl?
Oh yeah, that old place. And he'll go in his pocket and he'll hand you like the deed. He says, I think I'm gonna hang out here in Great Space. They get it auto know better around here, and because the technologically advanced stuff. You take it over. That place was crazy. I mean, what was I thinking? A hospital and a bar and a comedy club in one building? That's just not sanitary.
Well,
And I care
Captain,
about that now.
I wish you all the best, and I hope that whatever you do brings you joy.
Well, that's real kind of you to say, Arendo. And I hope that when you've just realized that this life of rabble rousing and getting into trouble and spacefaring and not knowing if you're gonna get shot down the next day, come find me, and maybe I can set you up with a job as a clerk too. Who knows? Maybe law and being a lawyer is I've got a friend in accounting. Maybe you might want to be an accountant.
Yeah, they are some life goals for the future, I'm sure. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear you're honestly considering a more stable path, Arendelle. He says he'll look at his hourglass on his wrist and he'll be like, "Oh boy, I'm late for my lunch with my boss. Have a good day." And he'll go scampering down the street.
Okay,
He's become such an upstanding citizen.
isn't it?
That card changed everything. Oh my
did.
god! I almost forgot. And he's gonna hand you what's left of the deck. He's gonna say, "This is too crazy for me, man. This is too crazy for me. So you take this. You maybe give it to the party. This is much more your speed. Enjoy."
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh.
Somewhere Zeus is like, nah, not really. That's probably more like, I don't know, Eros or Taiki or something. Pan,
Okay.
maybe, I don't know, Dionysus. Fantastic. So you are now the proud owner of your brother's mace and a deck of many things that is missing 2 cards, I believe, or 3 cards.
Okay. And that was just it was a +1 mace or something like that, was it? I can't
It was, I believe it was the mace of, I think it's called the Mace of Devotion. It's like a holy,
Okay.
yeah, okay, Mace of Devotion. It's like a holy mace.
Okay.
Dude, are you gonna
And
dual
then-
wield a mace and a sword? That's sick. Is that what
I
you're
was thinking
aiming?
about it.
Hell
Yeah.
You got
'Cause
brutal
even-
fucking clubbing in one hand and fucking, that's awesome.
See, with that, or I give the mace away.
It's your brother's mace.
It's your brother's mace, yeah.
No, I didn't mean as in to one of the party, is what I meant.
I got you.
But we'll see. We'll see.
I think it'd be sick if you dual wielded a mace and a sword. That's a fucking flavor.
I'm thinking of it, yeah.
It's tight.
He's just going to suffer on that AC, but that'll do. That's fine.
It's a dual wielder down the line. That's fun. Anyway, with that, let's go to our break. You all get a long rest. And the next day, we'll storm the mountaintop. So we can finally get Evahn.
Okay. Ray, do you want something? Brian, sorry, that mace. Did
Yeah.
you say devotion or disruption?
Disruption. That sounds right. It's the one that like fucks up things.
Yeah, when you get to 25 HP, they have to roll a save. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, put the deck of many things in your inventory. I'll give you them in a bit. I think you'll most probably have better use for them than what anybody else would, I think.
Okay, let's hop to it. You all get a long rest. Wake up the next day. Some of you feeling refreshed. It's time to kick some ass. So, we're storming the mountain today.
I think that's the plan.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're gonna make your way back out to the mountain. You prepare yourselves. You get all set up. Hmm.
While you're setting up,
Yeah.
Etherith, I bumped into Chaplin. He managed to give me some things back, seeing as he's now becoming some sort of a cleric of law.
Oh,
I think you.
That's terrible.
I know. He's had such a crisis of faith and has changed his deities. Seems to be the trend on this planet, but hey. And I'll give Efrith the deck of many things.
Oh wow. Oh, that's. Thank you.
Well, you're the only other person I think that may be able to use these wisely or not.
That's mostly up to chance. How many cards are left?
There's
It
3.
should be full deck -3. What do you do with it? Like, do anything with it?
Not yet.
Okay, fine.
Is it a 22 card deck or a 13 card deck?
22, so it should have 19 left.
Got it. So yeah.
And then I'll walk up to Ed. Ed, I don't know. Seeing as you're one of support, maybe this wand would help being at the back. So I've got a wand of fireball. He's fully charged as well, so you can.
A scroll of a fireball.
No, it's a wand of fireball. It's
wand.
an actual wand.
It's a machine gun of fireball.
Yeah. 7 charges. It's good. We used it in that tavern in the Undersea. Destroyed it. It was good. It was fun. So yeah, bang them out on there. Sorry, Bisson, I don't have anything for you.
And when you see Bisan, you'll notice that there's a snowy white owl on her shoulder.
You've made a friend.
Literally made one.
Archie is still on the ship.
That is true. I hope they haven't forgotten about him.
The cook takes care of him.
Well, that is good.
It's just like, I'm waiting. Like a little.
There's only so many things that I was able to have, so no. I do apologize.
Fine. She like flips her hair, looks deeply offended. Sarcastically, of course. Yeah, you guys prepare to get ready. Vivaro will look at you after this. She'll say, "Do you wish me to come still? You have your sister now. I could help in other ways, perhaps, but I don't know. What would you like me to do?"
Your prophesizing is always helpful in a pinch, so I would be very... Well, it would please me if you stayed.
Very well. I will stay, if that's your wish. Incredible. And with that, you guys can set off towards the mountain. This time it'll go way better. Take a look at something here. As you guys are approaching the mountain, you are going to find, like, basically you cross the field, you enter the woods at the base of the mountain. It takes a couple of hours to do so, and eventually, there you are. As you're within the wooded forest, you will find that you are not alone. With a number of warriors at her back, you're going to see a familiar female paladin clad in the classic Azure Vanguard armor. She is not alone this time. She is accompanied by other warriors, maybe not as pristinely, not as well presented as she is, but nonetheless, other people. She will step forward, Paladin Ilya, and she will say, as you guys all stand in the forest in the rain, say, "Halt! You come to climb the mountain."
That's the general idea, yes.
She says, "What makes you think that you can climb the mountain where others have failed? The lightning strikes all who gets too close."
We have an inn.
I just
We
have
are.
a,
Sorry, Karen.
I just have a feeling lightning won't strike us.
She squints her eyes at you. Make a deception check.
With minus 215.
She says, "How would you all have gained the favor of Zeus, where the Azure Vanguard has not?"
So I sort of cast a glance to Arendelle, but I very much kind of keep a sort of. Even though I've already been struck by lightning once,
I know. Maybe that is part of her. She's like, "Yeah, yeah." And she, as you strike a glance over Rendell, her attention does turn to Rendell. She says, You have gained his favor."
More than that, but yes.
I suppose what I've done is in order. I expect you all still remain loyal to House Shambrath and Zurgard and the bounty that we have offered for our technology returned to us. Is that fair to say?
The contract will remain in place. You have my word on that.
Maybe a persuasion check.
Okay, that's 24.
24. She nods. She turns her head and nods for guards. They all kind of... They weren't pointing their weapons at you by any means, but you can still clearly see like they're being careful. In this moment, they kind of lax in part. She says, "Very well. May the gods watch over you as you fought forth in the path. I would ask if there was any service you require the Azure God while you undertake this journey."
I would just leave you with the warning. No one but us will be able to climb this mountain. Keep everybody away. Because they will fail. No, carry on.
Now, if Ken, my crew and I, we've got places to be. And as for yours, I'll just say, word has it, lightning never strikes one place twice. So that helps us. I look at Edric a little cheekily.
I think we'll all look at him at that point.
She cocks like a sarcastic look at you, Ed, and says, "You really believe that?"
I like my fortune, but time doesn't favor us, so if you will, we've got a job to do. For you, in fact. I assure you, my crew's going to do it just fine.
You'll be on your way. And as you walk by Ed, she'll kind of take your arm, and she'll say, "Do you know why they say lightning never strikes twice?"
I believe it's so nice start.
An artificer would think that, but no. For when mighty Zeus throws his true power in one direction, there is no need to throw it a second time. Do not incur a set wrath. That is my wisdom to you.
I look at Aaron now after and I say, seems he's a good shot. And then keep going.
He lets you go, or she lets you go. Nods at you, Arendo. And remain stationed. They're forming a perimeter, a protected perimeter, keeping an eye out for any other pesky cults, perhaps. And with that, you can begin climbing the mountain. You're like, oh, well, the physics, you start going. She's like, no. As you climb the mountain, you'll be quite fortunate to note that there is no trouble. We'll find you along the way. All the beasts and the creatures have, if not evaded for the sake of the predator nearby, have certainly now for the sake of the lightning that strikes the high mountain peaks. Oh, Zeus, you're not there anymore. So I got a question. Who is taking the lead for the mountain climb here? Because Arendil, you climbed like straight up to the highest peak. It wasn't exactly an exploration of the mountain. It was sort of just like a vertical ascent. So who would like to take point on trying to navigate the storm and the wind and explore the mountain in hopes of finding Evahn?
I mean, I've not got a bad survival, but if you can go if you wish to, Person.
All right. I can try a little bit too. All right. I've got no best. Use my head.
So Hassan's doing it? Sounds like. Yeah. Okay, go for it, Hassan.
18.
18. Excellent. It's howling wind from the survival inside of you, Basan, and probably Saeed as well. He's not so much a survivalist. Never mind, I take it back. But from your perspective, like your teeth kind of clatter to be in such a place. Like you're inside a black roiling storm cloud. Like you can barely see your hand in front of your face. The wind howls, threatening to knock any of you off the mountain pass if the wind came just slightly stronger than it was now. And lightning crackles in a distance none too far away from you. Like bolts of lightning streak across the storm sky, maybe like 30 feet away minimum. Or maximum, I should say, like in distance from you guys. And it's like everything in your survival instinct says, this is bad, danger, we're gonna fucking die. This is stupid. But you forward on, you have faith in Arendil's faith and his own sacrifices and his own visions, and you push on. Your owl sort of disappears at a certain point where the wind grows too much, where it's like trying to hang on and sort of opening its wings to try and balance, and a certain gust of wind sort of blows the owl, not violently, sure, yeah, violently, but not like in a deathly lethal way, but blows your owl away. You don't expect it to dead or anything, but just in this moment, it's kind of departed for the sake of the dangerous storm. Travel up the mountain peaks, and then that thick, heavy fog. In the midst of it, a single beam of sunlight hits all of the side of your face. And in a matter of 10 minutes of your final climb, does the storm, the rain, the wind noticeably dissipate, and black cloud parts into sunny ray. And you have reached the eye of the storm. You have reached above the storm, perhaps. It is still windy. It is cold. Okay, easy. And you see off in the distance a very strange, hot air balloon-like structure. Easy. Look on that. All around you is the storm. Light shines down on you from the sky above. And lightning crackles below, the wind harrows below. There is a path here, a part of the pilgrim's path, to the top of the mountain. And sort of floating amongst the spires, you do see this really strange floating structure of some kind that is held aloft by what looks to be a large balloon. Lightning does streak up from the clouds below and around up at the hot air balloon, but it seems to almost like be pulled up at the hot air balloon and kind of meets this like mesh net of copper wire and kind of gets sent down into the actual structure being held aloft. Lightning seeming to be redirected. This strange device of clear artificiary patchwork stands resilient against the storm and hidden within its spires, its mountain spires. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to collect everybody into a space and then stare at the captain.
I have a good feeling where my brother is. Imagine so do you. So do you all. That's there's sure to be some sort of trap alarm system. And no, I suppose if you have the protection of Zeus, or well, not protection, but you get the nature. You should approach carefully here. Is there anything you can do to maybe make us a bit more proper distraction to get over towards that?
Short answer, no.
Creative ends?
Do we need a distraction? There seems to be quite a direct path to where we're going, and I'm not seeing anything hostile.
Not so much hostile, but you might not be wrong. In any case, let me walk ahead, keep an eye out for any sort of extra potential circumstance. You never know, my brother creating anything. Wrong step might be a vortex warp to another side. Or, who knows?
Before Ed moves off, I'll give him a potion of Misty Step. Just in case he...
I'll,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll cast Mage Armor myself just to be safe.
Incredible. Saeed kind of grips your shoulder, Ed, and he says, like almost with like an excited smile, he says, "Do you truly think your brother would try and kill you?"
At this point, I'm assuming my brother's capable of anything. So.
Perhaps I misjudged him. He may be more interesting than I thought.
Perhaps too interesting. And Ed's gonna kind of do like an investigation, sort of seeing where he might, like if there's like an extra alarm, an extra, you know.
So while you walk along the paths, you want to just keep an eye out, generally?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say your passive investigation is active at this time. What is your passive investigation?
Passive investigation 17.
Okay, so if anything, so basically we'll be using that for detecting anything. So I wrote it into the rules the rule document I shared with everyone, but just as a reminder, going forward, when you are doing something long term and unspecific, like if you're looking for something unspecific and you're doing it long term, like traveling through a pass and just kind of looking for possible traps or standing watch, just kind of like looking for danger generally over a long period of time, we'll use passives instead of active checks. And then if you want to look at something more specific, then that will be an active check. And that gives us a use for our passive skills. So they deserve attention too. Yeah. Unless you specifically say that you're actively doing something that would regale that, your passive isn't effective. So while you're asleep, your passive perception is not working. That's an example. or while you're just walking around shooting the shit with your buddies, there's passive. Is your passive perception available right now? So, in this moment, Ed, you're keeping an eye on the track, making sure there's no traps ahead. Passive investigation active, looking for trouble. The pass looks a little busted up, admittedly. Your passive investigation is 17, which is really good. And you would note that despite the fact that the path seems like rickety and hard to pass, it is structurally sound. You wouldn't recommend putting anything on here that weighs over 1,000 pounds. So you maybe suggest to the party to like slide a little bit, like maybe keep a 20-foot distance between each other so as not to put too much weight on any one point of the bridge. But other than that, it should hold just fine.
I relay that back. Stagger your steps, gang, and keep it fire, keep cover your corners, keep your light feet on.
All right. You continue on. There are sort of little markers along the road of faith and whatnot. You come to a broken bridge. This is definitely a cross at one of a time style. Why don't you make me an acrobatics check to cross safely?
$15.
You are able to cross safely. No issue. Saeed will say, he'll look at you very judgingly. He'll like look you up and down and go, no use risking anything. And he will sort of put his hand forth and cast telekinesis through his psionics. And the whole bridge will kind of like lift itself aloft, and the sort of like dangling pieces of it will kind of sort of refit themselves, and the bridge will sort of temporarily become structurally sound.
Why do you look at me? I'm the one who's probably the least in danger if I fall. I can fly, you know.
Oh, legs buckle. I see it beneath those ropes.
I just roll his eyes and just walk.
Walk across, everybody gets across just easily. The moment Saeed's across, it's very just unceremoniously just drops his hold on it, and it just wavers down a bit. Maybe one or two logs like fall down into the state below. This bridge is in dire need of repair. There's no matter of faith about it. It's fucked up. You see a small altar space to Zeus. The side there's a brazier with a number of old coins inside, silvers and coppers, and maybe a couple golds. Does anybody wish to take? Does anyone want their little extra coin? Nobody dares. In fairness, you guys stagger your approach. You walk across the bridge, making small hops across holes, making your way around until you get to probably like about here, in which you realize at a certain point there is no direct path onto the actual floating citadel, like the observatory is what it was called by Evahn in his message. So how do you intend to get aboard?
Okay, how many of you are there?
7, I believe, with your NPCs.
Okay, and where can I get the clearest view of, like, I guess the platform where I need to deposit everyone?
We'll say, where are you? We'll say as you stand here, you will note, of course, he has a personal vehicle of some kind, sort of strapped to the side of it, and you can see this little balcony over here.
Yeah. How far is that from me?
Navarre will say, I can stay over here and contact you if anything should happen on the outside with my skills.
If that's
it's about 80.
80 feet. Okay, let's see.
About 90. It's like 85, 90.
Okay, well that's fine. That is actually the perfect distance. All right, form an orderly queue. I'll get us all over there.
No,
And I'll, okay, and I'll start vortex warping people over.
got it. 90 feet's even a bit much for Saeed. So he will be like, while you're vortex warping, he'll help. He spent this huge spell slot. You might as well use it. He'll like grab you telekinetically, the sun, like chuck you over there. Make an acrobatics check to land. Well, after maybe you hit Arendelle, Saeed will hit Ed, and you hit your sister.
Yep.
25.
45. Yeah, you land safe and sound. Ed, make me an acrobatics. After you vortex warp him over there, Saeed over there. He'll telekinetically grab you and pull you over to them if you wish.
Cool. That works for
And
me.
you guys all make it over there easy as can be. Vivar will have at this point established a telepathic bond with all of you, and she is going to just monitor the Spire state in case anything happens. You'll excuse me now for moving all of your minis. It would be very complicated. I'll place them when it becomes important. What'd you get, Ed?
6.
Yeah, Basan, you land easy as can be. Ed lands across the deck. Stands up, dusts himself off. That's an acrobatics check as he pulls you telekinetically.
That is 9.
Sai just kind of like, you're welcome. And you all are there. You made it. All right. You make your way through the open door, start to clamber up, up you go. You find what looks to be a living quarters here, a bed and a hammock, and there's a book on a bedside table with a lit candle and brazier for heat. It is cold up here in the mountains. You come up to the second floor here. You see there's a small workbench here, an anvil, some art, some paintings, a small forge. It's almost like a small crafting space. But upstairs, third level up, you do hear activity. You do hear the sound of like working away, maybe banging away on metal, walking across the way. And Ed, how are you feeling? You're like, that's like 90% sure that's Evahn. And you haven't seen your brother in a long time, and he's just up those stairs. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you look like?
It's weird because like he died, and when he died, he kind of realized he was like, huh, I sort of just was like an accessory. I never really got to do anything. Like the first time I ever left my mark was like with the crew. So like it's weird adjusting to like his old shoes, but like it's still his brother, you know, he reminds me of family. And it's a little bit like he's definitely he's oddly chill, comfortable, and like kind of doing one of these like, all right, here we go, you know, as he's like walking up the stairs. Like there's, you know, he's not looking for traps or anything. He was kind of hoping there would be traps. It'd be like maybe easier. And yeah, I think Ed's just gonna casually approach upstairs. Oh, you guys could wait down here if you want.
Saeed says, not on your life. You've been chasing this bastard for days. I want to meet this person who killed his own brother. Sounds interesting.
All right. And that'll lead the way up.
Saeed, I think we should let Captain take his moment on his own. If there is trouble, we can be here ready.
Fine. Just don't kill him until I get to meet you.
No, we're not killing him ever.
Oh, so boring. As Saeed groans, Ed, you are allowed to take the moment, thanks to your party, and you head up the stairs. You make your way into a large laboratory. There is much going on here. It's pretty nice. There's a big bed. It's a bit of an artificer's dream in here a little bit. There is a large workbench at the back of the room where a number of gizmos are laid around. Open books on couches. There's like a meal table with half-eaten meals. It's got that sort of like mad genius kind of like organized mess. There's many things here that are a telltale sign of like your brother's activities. There's papers and books scattered around the table. Half of them are organized, half of them are not. Many different sets of tools have been placed here: smith's tools, tinkering tools, woodcarver tools, tools of metallurgy, arcane devices, and most importantly, in the center of the room, you see what seems to be like a massive, half-covered arcane battery of sorts, right next to like an even longer, strange, metallic cylinder. And as you step up the stairs, you hear the sound of like tools, tinkering tools, working away on the massive, uncovered metal device. What would you do or say?
I think Ed's kind of casually looking over everything, sort of like admiring and like, it definitely confirms, probably reminds him of some things. And he's gonna check the arcane battery first, that big thing. Kind of like take a peel under the hood.
You head over there. Make me this is a very high check. Nothing that you're going to look at on site and possibly understand entirely. But go ahead and make me an Arcana check. I'll give you an advantage because of Tinker's tools, because of your proficiency with them.
4 plus 7 for an 11.
This is it's neat. It's cool. It's got a lot of. It's cutting edge. This is definitely like great space technology, and you're a genius in realm space. But in great space, you're just another craftsman, and this is hard for you to understand to any great degree. It's clearly maybe a power source is built in there to power something. This could be the shield, possibly.
I think Ed will keep looking around, maybe go to the workbench, see if there's any notes, anything of the like. But he's casually making his way towards the sound of working.
Got it. You're looking around. You make your way over to the desk here, where you see like, it looks to be like chemicals are being used to enhance the durability or conductivity, perhaps, of certain metals. Very advanced stuff. Your brother's like room, as you assume this is his room, looks largely unused. Like the bed's still made. And your brother's not one to make his own bed, so you get the sense that he's probably just been sleeping at his desk in large. So he's kind of in that mad work frenzy mode that artificers tend to find themselves from time to time.
I think Ed'll just approach more towards where the sound of someone working is.
Make your way around the side. You see your brother on a stool with his head half inside of this strange device. You see he's wearing a tool belt. He is wearing like a really dirty shirt. You see all of his like stone elements peeking out from underward. And he's got his hands fully in the device, and you hear the sound of like he's tightening something. In all that sound, he hasn't heard you approach.
I think Ed will get as close as he can and be like, "Yeah, you're gonna want to get the right hand side."
Here, the moment you speak, his head slams across the top of the device. You hear something go inside, and something go ting ding 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 ding. He goes, ah! He goes, oh man! And he pulls his head out and rubs the back. He doesn't because of stone earth genocide. He doesn't hurt at all, probably. He pulls his head out. You see that his, similar to your own hair, he has that sort of gemstone hair, but it's grown long over the side of his head, like he's very ungroomed. He looks out. He's wearing goggles. He like pulls his goggles off over his head, and there's clearly that line of like cleanness around his eyes, and everything else is covered in like soot or like burn or whatever, scorch mark. He goes, Ed?
That's pretty good to see you, Evahn.
He stands up and he doesn't even take his gloves off, wraps his arms around you, a big earthy hug. And he goes and he pats your back. He goes, Ed, how you doing, little brother, man? I haven't seen you in forever. What? Dude, I haven't seen you since, well, since we all parted ways all those years ago. But what are you doing here? I didn't think you'd be hiding out in grade space, man.
Evahn, what have you done?
What do you mean?
I didn't think I was gonna see you, at least not in these circumstances, but you've got factions, Zeus. Brother, we were supposed to stay out of sight, out of mind.
He goes, yeah, that is what Dad would like, right? Keep the head down, live out our lives. Well, I don't know, man. Don't you think that's kind of bullshit? I mean, he made us get these things all tattooed to our body and everything. Why would he have us do that if we're not supposed to use them, man?
It's supposed to be so no one else can use them. We're
Then why
supposed to
wouldn't he just
value our
destroy
work.
everything, bro? Why wouldn't he just destroy everything? Why would he mark us with it? He didn't want us to use it, man.
It was supposed to be ours to claim. I understand, but like, Dad's dead, Evahn. He been killed by something that calls himself the Prophet. Mind flayer, looking looking to do awful things with our technology, our artificer. And it's we're this goes very deep, Evan. We're in big trouble here. And I gotta tell you, I don't have good options for you, nor do I have a good reason to see you.
Dad's dead? What do you mean he's
Yeah.
dead? The prophet killed him? What are you talking about, man?
It's a mind flare. I saw it with my own two eyes. He ate Dad's brain, turned him into a husk, a puppet. It was unlike anything he ever told us. See, in a way, I feel like Dad's use of people kind of caught up to him, and it's gonna catch up to you if you keep going down this path. We gotta fix this, Evan. You owe some very powerful people a very powerful piece of equipment, and I don't know what's going on, but if you need my help to build it, we can build it, get them to him, and fix all of this. You know,
No, like I listen, man. I was only using them for the resources. This shit that Dad had built. He had like the funding he had for that, man. I couldn't just make that out of a scrapyard. The money had to come from somewhere, and I can't give him Dad's tech. I couldn't just give it to them, so I told them, make them a shit generator or whatever, and then I did. I made it, but it caught on. That wasn't the only thing I was making. It was taking too long and all that stuff, and I tried to burn it, but like I don't know. Like I need the resources to try and build with a miniature version of what Dad had built, so that we could try and. No. Listen. Like I know that sounds bad, but listen.
They're supposed to build that. They're supposed to die the reason we have the codes tattooed on us is so no one else can use them except for us, and it dies with us.
No, listen. You don't understand, man. Like, brother, listen. I built it so that I can develop a technology to stop it. You know what I mean? And it's only like a miniature version one, man. Like you can't do what Dad's could. Maybe if you like really juiced it, it could take out a city. But that's it. And it's not even done yet.
Listen to you, Evahn. Like, what Dad had us build, we should have never built. It should have never existed. In a way,
I agree. That's why I'm trying to build it so that I can build something to like stop it. I could build like an energy shield to protect people from Dad's technology. And once I've built that, then we can then we don't have to worry about anything anymore.
And were you able to build it?
Well, and he'll pat what he's got there, and he goes, "Well, this is the miniature version of what Dad was making. I made this baby in secret, taking like I kind of embezzled some extra funds from House Shambrath for it. So I had built this one in secret here in the observatory. But this," and he like takes you around, takes you over to the other thing, and he goes, "But this is the shield generator, man. This is what protects ships from like, ship to ship fire. But I think if I could boost it just right, I might be able to one day turn it into something that could stop Dad's tech. It was hard building Dad's tech with only a third of the schematics. It was pretty hard, you know?"
Ed's gonna look at it. Ed's gonna look at the mini version, and can Ed in his head see if it would fit onto the Prophet's demise?
Yeah, dude.
Like fit as an accessory.
Hey, man, if you dumped the ballista, you could probably put this baby on a swivel, maybe on the back of your ship. It would take a lot of power. You don't know all the logistics, but as far as like pure hardware, yeah, you could strap this to the Prophet's demise, and the shield generator, yeah, you could probably strap that on too somewhere. I mean, maybe inside the cargo bay, perhaps. I don't know.
So he's gonna look at them both, and he's gonna look at Evahn. How far did you get?
Well, I haven't finished building Dad's weapon yet. It's still, like I said, it's pretty hard to build something with only a third of the schematics. So I'm almost done that. But the shield generator, this guy's good to go, man. It's good. We can put this on. It's actually powering the observatory right now. So if anything happened in the observatory, I could power the sucker up, and you get a force field around it, protect it, whatever. But I have installed inside of it extra power cells, hopefully boost its range, and maybe be able to even stop Dad's machine.
Ed's gonna look at the mini Dad machine. And he's gonna look back at Evahn. He's gonna look like towards where he came from, just in general, and then back to Evahn.
You
How
see
far
like
can we get with 2/3 of the schematics?
it's like several pairs of eyes just like watching from like the stairs.
I imagine you're at the bottom of the stairs. I was like, did you hear that?
How far can we get with 2/3 of the schematics?
He goes, I mean, honestly, if I had your schematics, if you let me like take a copy of what you've got on you, I mean, it would certainly lessen the time significantly. It might even solve it right here now. I've had a couple of kinks to work out. 2 puzzle pieces is better than one,
Let me see your schematics, and let me just hang on, and Ed's gonna try and do that what he just said, using 2/3 of the schematics.
He says, he goes, oh yeah, sure. And he goes over, like pretty open, like over here. He gathers like one of the books and hands it to you. And inside it's basically like scribbled notes and a record of Evahn's own markings on his body. And you plop down, and he like gets out a mirror, and you guys can start like going to work. Meanwhile, downstairs, I'm gonna say that Callisto says, are they working? Like, did they just start working? They're just sitting down here now? This will take some time, Ed. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because you have a pretty large scale of this, right, on your body, so it'll take a minute for you guys to get it all copied down.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys do downstairs? Well, you probably hear the yelling from Ed, where he's like, "What are you doing, Evahn?" Evon's like, "Making a weapon." It's like, "Can we strap this to the ship?" You guys are probably hearing bits and pieces of it, especially the louder parts of the argument, and then you start hearing like there's like a quiet for a while. Ed, do you think you've like ever recorded your markings before? Like, are you very familiar with them, or are they just kind of like there?
So I would say I'm pretty like aware of them, and I've also since working with the crew, I was gonna leave them behind if in case I died.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you think you already have a copy of them?
I would think so. I think I'd have like a page of them.
Okay. Then we'll see in this moment you just like quit. Like both of you are like, "Oh, we're gonna keep these tattooed on our body, so it'll be like hidden inside, nobody will know." Like, and then both of you just whip out the deciphered versions of your own markings that are just like on your persons, like totally eliminating the whole purpose of your mother.
Tattooed, yeah, like.
And you both just kind of like look at each other, and like Evahn laughs. He's like, and he like, you guys start cross-referencing. He makes his way over. He like opens up one of the hatches. He like, you two start working. I want you to make an investigation check at advantage as he starts asking you to like read off parts of your schematics to him while he's inside your father's device.
Hell yeah, 19 plus 7 for 26.
For 26. You get to work. Party's maybe milling about downstairs for an extra 5 or so minutes. Your brother is like, "Oh, fuck yeah, man! Like this is what I was trying to solve this for fucking months." And he like takes a piece of machinery out. He like literally throws it over his shoulder, goes over to the table and like starts banging something out. You guys hear upstairs. The two Jord brothers started working on something, and he inserts it inside. He takes a crystal out from his pocket and sort of like lasers it with his arcane focus to a particular shape and installs it inside. You see your father's, like this is the miniature version of it, but your father's weapon sort of drums to life. Evahn's like, "Hell yeah, man! Oh, fuck, I've been working on this for fucking months. This is killing me. I had the fucking energy flowing through the crystals the wrong way, and I should have, fuck." And he goes, this is great. Oh, man. Now that we have the weapon, we can, take a sample of the actual ray, and we can, reverse engineer it into something that can actually, like, protect against it. We could save so many lives if this ever got out.
We can make it so the shield absorbs the beam. They counteract each other, essentially making it so they're a perfect balance.
Well, listen, the shield generator, it'll work on a ship no larger than, I gotta remember all my Spelljammer terms I made for ship sizes, but hang on. Where is it? Ship combat. Here we go. He says it will cover. It will give a shield generator to a personal. Well, it's too big for a personal ship, and a bastion is too large. But it will be able to shield a collective ship well enough. If you powered it up more, it could probably cover a bastion tier size ship as well. But it needs a bigger power source. Now, So that works for the ship, but it's not going to stop Dad's, weapon by any means. But it's a start. So the problem with this baby, and he pats his dad's machine, your dad's machine, he says, is like it works and it'll blow ships right out of the sky in one shot. The problem is that it takes a lot of power, and it could destroy a Spelljammer helm. There's a good chance it'll just take out the Spelljammer helm along with one shot. It's a risk, but it works.
And so it's aimed at the prophet. Well, that sort of says that to himself. Now, the schematics for the shield generator, do you have those, Evahn?
The schematics for the shield? Yeah, I got them right here. And he'll point to the book next to you.
I need them. Please give them.
What do you mean? For what?
Well, Evahn, someone's gonna have to pay for what you've done. Can't just
what do you mean what I've done? What have I done?
Look, Evahn, I get it. Our dad used us, everyone as tools, and sort of raised us to think that's right, but it's not. It's wrong. There's systems, there's rewards, there's balance, there's trade. You can't just take someone's resources and expect no repercussion. The fact I'm here is one of those repercussions. Now,
I'm not seeing any repercussions, Ed. I mean, I've gotten out. I got the technology, and now that you're here, I mean, I'm sure we can figure out a way to get out of this and get off the planet with my tech, and then we can develop the shield generator, counter Dad's tech, take out Dad's tech, fuck up our, what we've got left on our bodies, and then we've got a sort of ace up the sleeve, protect people from Dad's tech forever.
Ed really likes that idea.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, "Listen, little brother. Our dad, yeah, he was a piece of shit. Sure, he he developed an apocalyptic based kind of weapon thing. It was fucked up of him, and he should have done that. But it's up to us, Jords, to make good on it. And I know, I don't know, risk is scary, little brother, but it's the right thing to do."
We have a crew, we have a mission. But they should know about this. They should know all about this. Here.
I mean, if you think it's a good idea, I think we should just keep it between me and you. You have a crew, you're a captain.
I have. We have our own ship, and there's a lot.
It was perfect. Get your ship out here, man. Get your ship out here and we can get the fuck off the planet. They can't stop us with the shield generator and Dad's tech.
Okay, stay right here, don't. And Ed's gonna go get the crew.
So come on, and he thinks you're like this is too much. So he's like, "Well, Ed, it's okay, man. Come on." And you make your way down the stairs and you find your crew, which definitely isn't listening, right?
Edward's is like,
I was gonna say, can
they're coming
I
down.
make it-
Look like you were listening.
Bisan makes absolutely
no effort?
not only does she make no effort, when he talks about getting the ship and leaving, she will look right at Arendelle and say, "We cannot let that happen."
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I would, if I heard that, I wouldn't have interrupted, but I would have made sure that that was heard, and I will act on that appropriately when Ed.
All right. So Ed, you've come down the stairs. The party sort of scrambles to pretend they weren't listening off the landing. You hear the the Christmas morning down the stairs.
Can I do an insight check to see if they were listening? Because that'll skip over anything I don't even retread.
Yeah, maybe an insight check. Sure.
That's another 19 plus One for a dirty 20.
Um, I think that it sounds like that there's some people who are like, maybe Callistra and Etherith are like chilling on the couch, like playing cards, or something.
Isan's on the
But
stairs.
I was
yes, it
going to say
sounds like,
Alchemist probably be up there as well.
but it sounds like yeah, Basan and Arendelle are standing there, like arms crossed, maybe disapprovingly, looking up at you, Ed, as you come down the stairs. You're certain that everybody heard pretty much everything.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. We need to figure out how to get that tech from up there to our ship, or else we're leaving our best opportunity. If we can get my brother to the people that want him, if we can get the tech to our ship, this will be a successful mission.
We are in a ship that can fly, yes?
It seems to be flying currently.
So,
Is there a way we could transfer it? That would be. Ether, when you vortex warp stuff, can you vortex warp things?
No, when the thing I'm warping needs a soul. I'm sort of It's like sort of magical jargon that's also not even strictly correct because it's sorcery. It's kind of like I can sort of feel the spark
Captain,
of life in you. I start twisting it.
why can't we land this? Why do we need to transfer anything? The shield belongs to the Thessalons anyway, yes?
I don't much really care about the Thessalons so much as I care about having the best fight against the Prophet.
Captain, we have to keep our word.
Ed,
On whose accord?
I will remind you. We take everything down. We give them the shield. Now, I have no issue if there is multiple shields up there. Then we take one. I have no issue with that. But I will say the Vanguard and the House will have their shield one way or another.
Well, then I guess so. Very soft on all these weird parts. Uh, I guess so. I guess then we just give it up to them. And
All I will say it is,
we work
do
for
you,
this planet now.
do you want to take on a god right now?
Captain, we would not be here without the assistance of Zeus.
All right, and Zeus wants my brother, which I'm okay with. I believe that's fine. But Zeus didn't say anything about the tech.
Yes, he did.
The contract, his oath that your brother made to the house down below, that is all part of it. He must fulfill his promise that he made to build and give that.
Oh, these gods get everything.
But it's not the god that is getting it. It is the people that he made the promise to.
I will sort of stare pointedly at Arendelle and say, I appreciate that you've found a grand new divine purpose in life, but we are not
You're a servant.
not all of us are the servants of Zeus, and certainly we are we are primarily, first and foremost, the crew of the Prophet's demise. If the captain has ideas that go against what Zeus wants, I will follow the captain. Even if I don't necessarily agree with going against Zeus here, I will stand by what the captain orders, and I would expect. I also look at Basan, then the two of you to do the same.
Isan will look right at Etherith and say, when we came up here, the captain said that we would honor the contract.
Oh yeah,
The
you should know.
captain has to keep his word to us, or the captain is not worth following. And then she will look at the captain.
All right, calm down. Put your arms down. I just didn't know that contract met the tech as well. They're fine. I got the schematics, so I'll be able to build them in the future. But I will say, you all look seeming very short-sighted by fear. I
This is not
appreciate.
fear,
It's not fear.
Captain. What I will say, you have the tech. There is the possibility that once we hand over the tech to the House and the Vanguard, that we gain their favor. We will
Or they'll
then be
have their
able to.
knees harder pressed on the back of our necks. Either way, get your god ready. Let's get this transfer going. And Ed's gonna go back there.
Yeah. Make your way back upstairs, Ed. What's Evahn doing? Evaughn's probably like preparing what look to be like straps for different pieces of technology, like clearly like getting it ready for transport, like pulleys and ropes and all sorts of things. He says, "What were all those voices? Did you bring your crew here, man?"
Yeah, Evon, let's get the schematics in order here. Make sure everything's all well organized. I how long have you been building this stuff?
Why would I build what all of this?
Yeah, shield generators. Walk me through the whole story. Like, how's life been since I last saw you?
Dad gave us the marks and told us to take off. And I ended up here in Great Space, and I don't know. That was a couple of months. I kind of realized that Dad was kind of full of shit, and he was kind of a bad dude, and that I don't know. I couldn't get it out of my head. Like maybe he was full of shit, and he wanted us to like undo his work, and that's why he gave us the schematics. And so I went to the Vanguard, and I did some work for them, and then told them I could make up a shield generator, and they put me to work, and it's been like a year or two now, probably.
Tell me about this Vanguard. What's your overall? Yeah.
The Vanguard's the fucking, I don't know, man. They're like the personal like attack hounds of House Shambrath. They're vicious, man. They're after my shit.
Oh, yeah, they sure do have the fear planted well into my crew. Oh, oh.
Well, you're the captain, man. Why can't you just tell them to like fall in line or whatever? I mean, I don't know.
But between you and me, it's more of a glorified pilot's position, which is what I prefer. I never really wanted to make decisions. Truth be told, I don't really can't really say I have entirely that's what. But Evan, this stuff's going back to the people that commissioned it.
What? No, why? What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that?
Well, Evan, because Zeus wants it to. And Zeus is a lot more powerful than you or I, or even our technology.
Zeus, he's like, what? What? Like, you went all religious on me, man?
No, Evan, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff at play here, and believe me, part of me doesn't disagree with you, disagree with what you've done. I look, I think there's a way I can get your safety out of here, and then when this is all over, we'll build we'll build something stronger than this.
Listen, look, you can't give them. You can't give these. You can't give House Shambrath Dad's weapon. You crazy, man?
We're not giving them anything, Evon. This is what they commissioned. This is rightfully so their property.
Yeah, they commissioned the shield generator,
That's what we
sure,
give them.
but the generator's got like parts of it that I was using to build Dad's generator. They're gonna go inside and see that it's not all shield generator. And then what if they put those puzzle pieces together? I mean, it's all tied
Yeah,
together.
this shield generator is more than a shield generator.
Yeah. I mean, I told him it was gonna be a shield generator, kind of embezzled a little extra money so that I could start building some tech. And I kind of hid parts of Dad's weapon inside the shield generator to get it here. So it's kind of like a
Hey,
prototype schematic for the final weapon.
above the table, Ryan, you are a bastard. That's awesome.
And this
I
was
can,
this was explained by second in command dwarf there that he
Yeah,
like was affixing extra parts to the shield generator that were unnecessary. And he says, and let's be honest, Ed, how Shambrath shows up here, and we're like, yeah, here's the shield generator, but don't take the super cool weapon that we've built. You think that they're not just going to take it anyway? I mean, they're government, man. You should know as well as anybody that we can't trust governments.
I'm very tired of those in
Listen,
positions of
listen,
power.
listen. He like brings you in close. He whispers this. Nobody else hears this. He goes, listen, here's what I think we should do, all right? Listen, get your ship, load up Dad's weapon, all right? Take the schematics, leave the shield generator for them, and maybe like I remove some essential parts. You know, and we're like, here you go, shield generator. And maybe it works for the first two or three times, then kind of falls apart. And nobody could really put it back together, maybe. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe put a bomb in there or something. I don't know, but like, we'll give it to them. It'll be kind of like they'll think they're getting what they want. We'll be long gone before they can know that we kind of got out of the other side.
That's gonna say, Colonel! I'm gonna call you guys all up here.
Looks a little worried. It's like doesn't say anything, but he kind of looks a little like
So, once you guys are all up there, if you go up there,
yeah, yeah.
everybody gets up.
this shield generator that we're about to hand over to House Shambrav is, in fact, not just a shield generator, but a weapon capable of destroying worlds. Much like the very same
Why are
weapon
you telling them this?
you've all helped me hide from the Prophet. Now, do I need to explain why I feel a little bit of a pause about handing over such a weapon to House Shambrav, who I remind you has not been a welcoming house to us, nor a good one. Do we feel it's a smart decision here to just hand it over? Now, my brother was telling me to hand him over a proxy that doesn't work. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but not so wavered on doing the first part either. We all need to decide here who we were before we landed here, before we joined this crew, what our goals were, and what our intentions were. Now, you ask me, weapons shouldn't be in anyone's hand, shouldn't even exist. As someone who helped create it, fills me with a guilt that I don't think I'll ever overcome. That's why I go out of my way to be so likable and overcompensate. Because, quite frankly, something that can kill worlds shouldn't exist. But it's also what we're trying to stop the Prophet from creating. If my speculations are right, seeing as last time we saw his ship, he had a lot of our Jord technology in their use. So, crew, what do we do here?
Your brother stole resources and then did not do what he was supposed to do. This is his doing. So turn over his mistake or turn him over. But we are here because a way was made for us. An agreement was made with a god, and she will look at Arundel. I see what the lightning can do. I don't think I can take this. It isn't about fear. And she'll look right at Evahn and say, you may be very smart, but I think you are not so well traveled. There are some
Who
things
the hell
that
are
are
you, man? Listen. You don't know anything about what's going on here. All right. Look, I don't know who's actually in charge
She
here.
pulls her light. She pulls her sword.
Like Jesus, fuck, Ed.
Hold on.
What the hell, dude?
Do we want to talk about what I have seen and what I haven't seen and what I have sacrificed? Do we
Which is
do?
why I'm
Is
very
this what you want to
confused.
do?
Which is why I'm very confused as to you want to not use this for against the prophet. We're
I
creating.
have a suggestion. Ed, I'm sorry to cut in. From
No,
what I
you're-
heard,
I want to hear what you have to say.
from what I heard, the shield generator worked before these little extra bits and weaponry was put on. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
To take the other bits off. Put them in a case, then you can take them with you. All they want is a shield generator.
Make sure the product works.
That is it. That is all they want. That is all that is needed. None of your extras, none of your little add-ons. The money that was spent to do this, the agreement or oath that you made, is what is in question. Take your extras off. We can find the extra bits to repair and make on the shield generator. So, Ed, you still have your weapon for fighting the prophet, which I am in agreement with.
Weapon
But
fighting
they
the prophet.
They then get their shield generator, and then everything is settled.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You want
No.
to use the weapon to fight someone with? It's supposed to be. It's for defensive research. It's not for like war.
Tell that to the mind flayer who mind fucked your father before feasting on his brain.
Hey, fuck you! Don't talk about my father.
Okay, I can sense we're all getting a bit high strung here. Arundel, your plan is as sound as so long as everyone involved is reasonable and agrees with your judgment. It's my understanding is the weapon that sits before us has been made using the resources that you were given to construct the shield generator, yes?
Yeah.
Based on our conversations with the Azure Guard, they would likely consider that weapon to also be their property, at which point they would request that be handed over as well because it was made using their resources.
They would have
Like
to
it
know
or
it
not.
They don't know
exists.
about that, do they?
And how do you plan to hide it? Look at it.
And you two are thinking that the guard is just going to be happy with their shield. They're not. When they have the potential and power to do the destruction that has, they're going to want it too. That's how these.
It is also
governments
worth
work.
pointing out that to some extent they are aware of this. They may not know the specifics of what it is, but they know that a second device was made. Am I correct?
No, I mean I made this, and he points to the actual, like the big guy, the guy.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I made this here based on the prototype implements, the most important pieces that I had installed in the shield generator and hidden inside the shield generator. So no, not really. They don't technically know about this part.
But they know you have something because we spoke to your little dwarven assistant. You had a thing that everything was built around, yes?
Yeah, and he'll point to the center item, the
Yeah.
gold-plated generator
Yeah.
thing. He goes, "Yeah, like he knows I built like I was building them a shield generator. I stalled as long as I can to get as much resources as possible."
Okay. So the shield generator that you have, it is separate from the weapon. You take the parts of the weapon off, we can then rebuild another shield generator, if that's what it takes. But the shield generator must go back to the house, and that is it. There is no way around it. You either die here, and then it's all done. Then where will we be? Take off the weaponry bits. We will work something out to get them. I will handle the Azure Guard in the house. That is my part. Your
Why
part.
do you guys care? I mean, I'm offering you like prototype shield generator technology. Like, you guys make out pretty fucking good if you get me out of here.
We will
How?
get you out of here.
The planet is under total blockade. Our ship can't even enter the planetary atmosphere.
I don't know. Like, I'm not a spelljammer, man. You guys figure that part out. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I could try and like, we can figure something out. You know, there's always a way out.
That
Yes. Give them their shield generator.
I could. I'll need to do some modifications to the shield generator. I mean, implements I had installed that were for the weapon, I had to make them somewhat essential to the original shield generator to pass it off as an actual piece of technology. So it takes some work.
I'll take them off with you.
No, like I'll do it. I mean,
No,
you don't know
I'll
the
just-
shield generator. Like you can hold, like you can help me out a bit, but like I developed this technology.
I'll help you take off the shield generator. Disassemble all of this. And we'll give it back. We'll give it to Halshambra. And I'll personally keep watch of Evahn.
This is a good idea. Starts walking over and like grabbing his tool belt and fastening it on. Kind of takes his stool and stomps over the shield generator.
I'll just pull the captain aside for a minute.
He'll say in a minute. He wants to look over the schematics, and I think Ed wants to kind of wants to live with the schematics alone for a while.
Evahn like snatches the shield generator schematics from you and gives you like a dirty look and like puts that in his tool belt, walks over to the shield generator.
I don't keep looking through all his stuff, trying to see like how he got here.
Yeah, you can start looking through his things if you want. Make an investigation check. If you want to start like looking through all his papers, you definitely get like dirty looks from him as you're like going through his personal shit.
4 + 7 for an 11.
It's a lot of like chicken scratch, like shorthandy notes, like minor calculations done on a piece of paper just to get them out of his head. Minor being minor to artificers, so very complex to the common man for sure. You can interpret them just fine. You see the various amounts of tools he's been using. His metallurgy table is very interesting. He's using like chemicals to affect conductivity. This is definitely like a arcane technology. It isn't used technology, it's arcane to be very clear. But there are implements of, I don't know, it is a little technologically advanced in fairness. It's very interesting what he's got building here. But clearly the master key to his research is in the book at his hip right now for the shield generator. And of course the two schematics. I'll say those are sitting on the table, your schematics and his schematics off of his back.
Where we're on board right here, is this like a ship? By any chance, is there a Spelljammer?
You never saw that Spelljammer helm. You can ask him about it.
Evahn, what is this?
It's a leyline observatory. It's meant to observe arcane ley lines. It's
Can it
not a
move?
Spelljammer. It's like you wouldn't get it. It's like a hot air balloon. It basically uses hot air to help it create elevation and like fans or whatever to help it move back and forth. It's slow. Can't do space travel if that's what you're asking.
He just nods.
It needs a Spelljammer to do that, but it doesn't have Spelljammer. Whatever. He's working away. He's pulling out giant chunks of machinery and like throwing them behind him, and they like smash on the floor. Like they're metals. They maintain their integrity to a degree. There's like bolts and pieces just like snapping off of it, and like he's destroying portions of it. Like not entirely. Like he can put it back together with work, but it's destructive what he's doing.
I want to take a moment to speak to like Arendelle kind of privately.
Yeah, by all means, you go back to this like little desk workstation in the back. Private, to a degree.
This isn't an accusation or like meant to be. I'm asking this in truly good faith. How much do you trust the Azure Vanguard to hold up their end of the bargain here, to take only what they asked for and not a single thing more?
They will only get to take what they ask for.
That's not an answer.
Okay, let me put it this way. I will make sure that they do not take any more than what they ask for. Regardless of what they wish to take, they will not.
Okay, how?
Etherith, I'm still trying to work this out, but I am a paladin of the King of Gods.
That is...
I have been named the King of Paladins. I am here to bring justice to this planet, as Zeus has authorized and told me to. I will bring...
Fine. I'm fine with walking a dangerous path, but only one if you have a clear plan in mind. This is not clear. This is betting on some very, very uncertain declarations of superiority and strength that I don't know if you or even we can truly back up. They've been blockading the planet for almost a week now in search of him. Do you think that they would be satisfied in that time with just one shield generator?
That is all they commissioned. I understand that Evahn has taken other monies for other things. That we will have to deal with. But the thing is, we can give them the shield generator. The other parts, we have means and ways of making sure that they do not end up on this ship by the time we get to the bomb. We can maybe take a little detour. We can take this observatory down, fly down, maybe vortex warp a couple of bits into an area where we know that
I can't move pieces. I can't move non-living matter.
Okay, then we will sort some stuff out. We have to think about this logically. There is going to have to be ways that we can do this. There is a personal ship. I don't know. Maybe we can fly little bits here, there, and everywhere from a position where we're at. There is no other way that we can get out of either staying here and dying or losing everything. If the captain wants to fight the prophet, which we all do, and he wants to use that weapon, the only way that we can get off of this planet is by making sure that that shield generator ends up in their hands. Now, whether that works, like his brother said, 2, 3, 4 times, I don't know whether that will work, but I'm pretty sure that it won't. But we still have means and ways of having other technology to take with us.
I have no objection to giving to upholding our end of the agreement and giving them the shield generator. I'm only asking for some assurance that we have some plan in mind for if the Azure Vanguard don't hold up their end of the bargain. They may wish to take Evahn's head.
They may wish to. But I will not. I cannot say that they will not. They will not try. But part of the bargain was he has the money. They get a shield generator. That is what is gonna happen. And above table here, without seeing my whole sheet, I'm not sure of what sort of communion things I could be able to do, as in to make sure and give that assurance. So I'm only going off a little bits that you've sent. Um, so I'm a bit flying blind on this part, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't think there's anything that other like you have your
As
normal
in-
paladin stuff, but the stuff I sent you is just your oath specific subclass stuff.
Yeah,
If you have something like, there's nothing that is a part of the Oath of Judgment that should give you communion abilities.
okay.
But if you have anything as like from the standard paladin spell list, that might be possible.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what. As you two are kind of talking,
Hey.
Callistra is going to approach the two of you. She's going to say, "Gentlemen, gentlemen, I think it's time. I know you've all forgotten. I think it's time I remind you all that I've shared with you a prophecy recently. I can't help but feel that the culmination of that prophecy is coming to pass here in this moment. And I think time is to be understood that there are greater things at stake than the Azure Guard's money and Zeus's honor. Just keep in mind, Hecate does not share prophecy lightly. She is not the god of prophecy after all. When the child of stone wakes the silent spark, and weaves the veil of armor bright, gesturing to the generator, and the flames beyond thought will seek the mind that bears it, blah 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 blah. 6 paths will converge, and none shall be true. The blade will thirst, the crown will lie, and the mirror will shadow. I can't interpret this perfectly, but I can't help but feel it has some relevance to what is happening in this very moment. So I will leave you to kings of men to duke out what that all means. Just thought I'd put that forth. Hecate has spoken. She rarely speaks lightly. Sure, that's all. Sure.
As far as what Ed's doing, Ed's still trying to figure out how he can pilot this observatory if possible.
Make me a Arcana check. Maybe an Arcana check. I'll give you advantage as a Spelljammer to this check.
Oh, nat 20.
Not 20. There's something. So Spelljammer helms.
27.
They are the key to Spelljammer technology and flight and all of this. Essentially, you need to find a not freestanding, but basically something not like attached to the ground, something not rooted in the ground. So that could be a vehicle, usually a vehicle, a carriage, a ship, whatever. It must weigh at least a ton. And if a Spelljammer helm is installed on that vehicle or object that weighs a ton or more, it then becomes a Spelljammer. Now, obviously, certain Spelljammers are better than others because of how they've been built. Some are faster, some are stronger. Technically speaking, if you could produce a Spelljammer helm in this space, you could turn this into a building capable of spaceflight. But it's not a Spelljammer, so it would probably be a pretty clunky drive. But yes, if you could get a Spelljammer helm in here somehow, you could achieve wild spaceflight. It would be very clunky, because this is like a really weirdly shaped building. It's not aerodynamic in the slightest.
You're saying there's
But you need a Spelljammer helm. That's the key to the puzzle. That's the piece of the puzzle that you need.
How can Ed MacGyver a Spelljammer?
There is a spell to creating one, but it has a very significant and unique material component attached to it.
Any of that material possible to stuff Evahn is ripping off from the jump.
It's like $5,000 ruby rod. I don't think he's got one of those.
I know.
Unfortunately.
You've already given me so
Oh,
much.
sorry, man. I've only got the $10,000 emerald rod. Sorry.
Because I think it'll still try and contemplate how you can make this happen.
After this look back, look after like let's just kind of give a refresh on the prophecy. That part about the crown will lie is what worries me. I'm less inclined to trust those in positions of power, and unfortunately, both the Azir House Shambrath, and Zeus himself fall under crowns. So I'm sorry if I'm not willing to bet on their goodwill currently. So I would prefer instead to bet on them reneging on their end of the bargain and making preparations for that. Is that reasonable on my part?
Fair enough, Ethworth. Okay, sorry. So, let's flip this. And I will shout Ed and Evahn. This weapon that you've made, does it work right now, and will it be able to destroy something?
Like, I can make it work, technically, but chances are to blow up the shield generator after the first shot.
So you've made something that you're not willing to take apart because you can't use it straight away. If this weapon was to work, just let's say, is it possible you could blow up a building?
It's unstable, man. Like, you're not artificers. You don't get it. Listen, try and put this as simple as I can, all right? Big gun, right? Needs power to shoot, all right? Needs lots of power to shoot. If it had lots of power to shoot, yeah, blow shit up. Absolutely. Better than probably anything you've ever used before. But it doesn't have enough power, then the power source is probably going to explode. So, like, a Spelljammer helm could probably power it, but the Spelljammer helm probably blew up with it. Now, the only thing in here with even a reasonable, close to amount enough power to arm the weapon is the shield generator. But I'm not fucking doing that. Because I built this so that I could build that so that that could defend the world against fucking apocalypse. So if you're asking me to destroy my shield generator technology so that you can make a weapon out of my dad's fucked up apocalyptic research, you can go fuck yourself, man.
I kind of agrees with his brother a lot there. No one who's ever commissioned us has ever been reasonable. When you are reasonable, you don't ask for weapons of mass destruction. I don't know if that's not landed.
Hold on. I'm sorry. The house is you only asked for a shield generator. Your brother decided to add weaponry to this or build this weapon.
And I'm
That
asking
is
you,
all.
Axel, what do you think they're using those shields against? And with what intention?
I have
To
no
protect
idea.
the selfless innocents?
Do you know what
war.
they're for? No.
For war.
But your brother decided to make this weapon. He has put himself in this position. Not us, not you, not anybody else. We are here because your brother decided to take money from someone, build a shield generator, take some more money, build a weapon or a shield, however you want to call it, of destruction. Now everybody's fighting to get this. And the simple thing is to do, give them the design for the shield generator. Give them a shield generator. Otherwise, everything else is worthless because you can't use the weapon because you haven't got the power to. It's not ready. So what is the point in holding on to something that doesn't work properly because it's not fixed properly?
Is because I can power it properly to produce this fucked up world destroying potential ray, study the energy that comes off of it so that I can make a counter to it and protect people from it and then bash the shit out of it. I can't protect somebody from something if I don't know how it works.
You are wrong. I'm here. I don't know if that changed for I think it's for a couple of you. I'm here to find my brother, to have his help defeat the prophet.
Well, that's why we were here in the first place.
But
I get that,
in the
Captain.
first place, we're making it very, very comfortable on this house Shambra, when we could be figuring out how to get out of here with the best chance to fight the prophet and even House Shambra if it came to it. Don't you understand? There's always going to be a House Shambra. There's always going to be another powerful organization looking for artificers to create great weapons for them.
I'm going to say
I
in
tell
this
you,
moment,
Captain.
I'm going to come in here for a moment. As all of this is going on, there's arguing between the Yords and Arendelle, and there's a bit of a havoc in the room. Callistra looks across the room to you, Ethrith, and through the psionic bond created by Callistra, says, "You know what I'm starting to think? Maybe we should fulfill a prophecy here and now."
What do you suggest?
I suggest perhaps nothing. She looks over at Evahn, and her eyes are going to sort of well over black. She's going to cast Hex on Evahn. Evahn she kind of like says something in tongues at him. And he goes, "What the fuck?" Then she raises her hand at him. And like a blood puppet, Evahn sort of, his body seizes, and she moves her hand towards the balcony. Evahn starts moving across the room. And that's where we're going to end the session.
No! Can I have counterspelled that?
I don't think you were fast enough.
Oh, man. I'm not going to be here next week. So, that'll be...
Oh, well, come on, man. We're going to decide the fate of your brother and you're not going to be here?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be here. It's a holiday weekend, so I'm with family and stuff. It's Easter. I should probably say now, like, I'm also kind of like on the errand streak. I probably have like until June, and then I'm probably done here, unfortunately, because of scheduling. So I've been kind of savoring my games, but it's just not been working out. Like, because that next month, May, I got like another 2 sessions I'm gonna miss, and it just feels like.
Gotcha. Is that going for the Wednesday as well?
No, Wednesday I'm good. Wednesday is a nice work day.
Nice. Okay.
All right. I'm there.
All right. Well, let's. I'll get recruiting because 3 people is hard to run, but we'll.
Absolutely. I'm trying to hang in there as best as I can to keep the game going for us, but by June I have another thing that's gonna make it that Sundays are impossible.
What about the week after?
I'll the last week of April I'll be here.
I hate to miss a game, but this feels like an impossible session to run without Ed's presence, because this is like the heart of Ed's fight, like arc with his brother and stuff. So it's like,
if you
I might suggest that
we can come together, you and me, this week, and you can tell me what you're gonna do, and I'll give you full approval of how to use Ed too. I'll be fine with that.
Maybe, I don't know. This is like, Ed. This is like the end. This is like pretty much the end of your arc, man. Like, this is like your brother. This is like your father's weapon.
That's why I was like, I didn't want to be like, oh, can you guys wait for me? But
I'm okay to
some sessions I can get around, but this is a big and clearly a tense party moment. I would feel
Yeah.
I feel kind of wrong to just like resolve this big
You
party
guys are really
decision without it.
great.
So
That'd be great.
I would like to say this. Like I would obviously feel really not happy doing this next bit without AC
Mm,
here. But
yeah, definitely.
I'm certainly not opposed to getting to, like, we've all done one shots together. I'm certainly not opposed to the three of us and maybe somebody else getting together and doing an adventure league or something
Yeah, I got
else. Like
you. Okay, yeah,
um
Okay. That way it's not like a killed session. I
sweet. Yeah, no,
and
no, that's fair. That's a very good point. Let's do
I'm
that.
up for that. Yeah.
and all Bisan is hearing and all of that was someone justifying making the weapon, because if the weapon hadn't been made, you wouldn't have to defend against it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
Like
that's
Evon's a
like
shithead.
as the more she listens to him speak, the more she probably sides with Ether's sister.
Mm.
It's complicated.
He
Evon's the he's I think I've tried to make Evon the definition of like big brain but no idea how to use it, like in a moral way. You know, he's like, yeah, I'm making this like prototype for an apocalyptic weapon so that I can stop this very weapon.
I know
It
that
doesn't make
just
any fun.
it doesn't make sense. No.
There's a twisted logic that you need to follow to make this make sense, and that Evon wasn't raised by a very like ethical fella, so he's
and Ed's whole thing is his entire life has been defined by powerful groups being like, I would like a fancy this, a fancy
Mm.
that. And he is so fucking tired of them. He is so tired of them being served, getting what they want. He's so tired of them having all the say. And he's like, I'm the one fucking inventing this shit. I
yeah.
want to
There's a
just.
lot of
So he's
absolutely there's a
like,
lot of
Yeah.
background supply.
he's boiling up to that point.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But yeah,
Meanwhile,
I'm happy
Callistra is
to.
like, I'm not on any side of like the should Evon live or die prophecy. She's going, well, it seems to me the only real problem we have is Vaughn. So if we kill Vaughn, I mean, we can do whatever the fuck we want at that point.
Yeah.
Then we could just
That's almost in a
hand
weird
over.
way Ed's justification too, because Ed doesn't care about Evon. Ed cares about not giving them the tech. He wants to keep it for himself.
And
I know.
Etherith,
Well, yeah, go
Etherith
ahead.
doesn't care about Yvonne, but cares about Ed, and therefore can't kill Yvonne because Ed would be sad.
I mean, Ed
There's someone else killing him for you.
And
Trust me, the quandary for Ed isn't Evon. It's the shield generator and the weapon. Ed's realized he's like, I can put this both on the Prophet's demise, aim it at the Prophet. Hell, I'll aim it at House Shambra. I'll aim it at
and,
all of them. That's where Ed's at right now.
and
And that's
that's
the
what I
problem.
loved.
And that's the
I
problem. I'll aim it
I
at
loved
anyone,
it.
and that's the problem.
I loved it because he was like, "Hey, bro, I made a prototype of Dad's world-destroying apocalypse weapon," and as you're like, "Can we put this on the ship, bro?" like immediately, you were like, "No, Evon, what have you done? Like all this shit, like you can't be doing all this." And then the moment he's like, "Dude, I made it," you're like, "Okay, can we strap this bitch on there?" I was like, "Dude, that's fucking great."
Doesn't believe these Greeks. The leader of them has been doing like a my dick's bigger contest every time showed up. So it's like these people aren't reasonable. And Irondale, if Arendelle wasn't getting Zeus as his new money daddy, he wouldn't care about Zeus either. So it's like
You
But
wouldn't have
that's
gotten
it.
up here
That's the
without
thing.
Zeus, though. We wouldn't
It's
be like
that's like we're going to Zeus. But I gotta go eat dinner. You guys are great. I've been hanging on to this game